What's the feed?
Services. Smith.
Week number 9 of the high school football season and senior night at Memorial Field in Homer City. Good evening, everybody. With Ward Hilliard, Mark Burdick back with you for a final time at the friendly confines of Memorial Field as the 2-6 Wildcats get ready to host the 3-5 Portage Mustangs. And Ward, for Portage, they are in the 7th spot in the District 6 1A rankings in a playoff position. If they win tonight, they will clinch. The Homer Center Wildcats not completely out of it, but they'd have to win tonight and win next week on the road against an improving Conemaugh Township team. But never say never. A matchup of two Class 1A schools here tonight at Memorial Field. The Wildcats last week, I guess just rinse it off, forget about it. They were shellacked in every which way, 49-0 at undefeated Cambria Heights. And meanwhile, the Portage Mustangs were on the road at Purchase Line, and they tossed a shutout 16-0 over the Red Dragons. So what do you think?
Well, I think Portage is Portage. They're always a tough team, even though they're having a down year. They've gone through some injuries as well. But, you know, Mark, all the years that I've done this and all the years that I've watched Lamar Homer Center football, I've never seen this many injuries. You look down here, you could probably field a team with the guys that aren't dressed, and that's not good news.
You're right, because I can tell you, actually had to update the chart. They started the season with 39 on the roster, and they have 36% of that roster tonight in street clothes.
It's pretty hard to make up a solid team and then try to win a football game. First of the year, I thought this was a winnable game. I thought this was one we could pull off, and depending on the situation prior, maybe set ourselves up for a playoff position. They're still, believe it or not, in position to where they could make the playoffs, but they got to win their last two games. Most of all, they got to win tonight. That's going to be a tough task.
Wildcats added Ocean Maritita, broken arm, really undetected to us in the press box last week. It happened before that game was reduced to a JV match late in the second quarter, and there was no injury timeout per se, so we learned that during the week. And then yesterday, wonderful dinner provided by the Twin Cities Event Hall at the Greyston Coral Sportsman's Club for the team. Took advantage of that, and we thank them for making our video streams possible. But I learned and talked to Braden Dunn, another senior who will be on the shelf for the rest of the season. Still trying to sort things out, but possibly a partial tear of the ACL. So it just keeps getting worse. And I go down to confirm lineups with Coach Marty Solonic, and he's going to be without one of his key players tonight. And we'll talk about that when we return. A key cog, both offensively and defensively, for the Portage Mustangs. From our S&T Bank broadcast booth, People Forward Banking, S&T Bank, our ITT pregame show will continue. But first, some key games. One that we'll be keeping an eye on is the River Valley Panthers at Northern Cambria, a pair of 7-1 teams. We'll learn about that and all of the other matchups as our own Jake Slobotnik takes us on a trip around the Heritage Conference, brought to you by Repine Travel. Jake, take it away.
We're coming down to the final weeks of the IRMC high school football season, and there are several key matchups on the Week 9 schedule. Hi everybody, this is Jake Slobotnik bringing you this week's trip around the Heritage Conference presented by Repine Travel LLC, where your next adventure is just a click away. Leading off this week's schedule is a game that features two 7-1 teams clashing at Duffy Doherty Stadium as River Valley and Northern Cambria look to maintain their momentum in the District 6 playoff race. The Colts are celebrating their senior night, so they look to send their leaders off with their 5th straight win over the Panthers in as many meetings. Catch all the action with Chuck Clark and me on Cat Country 106.3 FM, catcountry1063fm.com, and Renda Digital TV, presented by Barnesboro American Legion Bar and Restaurant, Post 508, and Blairsville Beverage. Penns Manor and Marion Center both came up short in their Week 8 matchups last week, and they'll look to get back on the winning track tonight when they meet at Dr. John Molino Stadium in our U92 Heritage Conference Game of the Week. Join Todd Marino and Tony Cacagna as they bring you all the action on the new U92.5 FM and streaming audio at u92radio.com. The Homer Center Wildcats are also celebrating senior night, and they look to pick up their third win of the year when they host Portage at Memorial Field. Join Mark Burdick and Ward Hilliard for all of the action on WCCS, WCCSradio.com, and Red Digital TV, presented by the Grayston Coral Sportsman's Club. Other games this week feature Purchase Line and United Valley clashing in Armagh, Cambria Heights hosting winless West Shamokin as they look to stay unbeaten and go 8-0. And both Conemaghs face off in Davidsville, with Conemaugh Valley coming off a 32-0 shutout win last week over West Shamokin. There's a lot of great action both on the field and on the air tonight, so if you miss any of it, be sure to recap it all tomorrow morning with Todd Marino and Ward Hilliard on the Luther Ford Coaches Corner program, airing from 8 to 10 on WDAD and WDADradio.com. That's all for this week's trip around the Heritage Conference, presented by Repine Travel LLC, where your next adventure is just a click away. Visit repinetravel.com. I've been Jake Slobodnik, and I'll see you next week when we take our final trip around the Heritage Conference.
Ready for your next adventure? With Repine Travel, unforgettable memories are just around the corner. November 10th to 16th, immerse yourself in the excitement of Branson, Missouri. Or get swept up in the holiday magic of New York City, December 8th to 10th. And mark your calendars for October 2025. Set sail on a no-fly Islands in the Bahamas cruise aboard the luxurious Symphony of the Seas. Relax and explore the islands like never before. A big thank you to everyone who voted Repine Travel the best travel agency in the best of Indiana County. Book now with
Mark Burdick back with you in our S&T Bank broadcast booth, People Forward Banking. Before we had the trip around the Heritage Conference, I mentioned Portage unexpectedly without one of their top performers. They won last week 16-0 at Purchase Line, snapping a 3-game losing streak. They haven't had a 4-game losing streak, by the way, since 1992 when they started this season 0-4. So they avoided that, and they got a big performance by Isaac Walensky. He led the offensive attack, carrying 33 times for 166 yards. They held Purchase Line to just a total of 64 yards of total offense. Walensky, a good defensive player too, a defensive end. He will be out of the lineup tonight, just not feeling well. He is here in street clothes, but will not play. A big loss for the Mustangs.
Yeah, at this time of year, it's hard to keep them all together, and that's certainly a big loss. And I really don't know how to speak to that because I'm not sure what their depth is like. This is not a typical Portage year.
Well, they lost their quarterback, the coach's son, Easton Slonick. He's dressed. You'll see number 3 out there, Ward, with a pretty big, thick club cast on his hand. He had some pretty good stats to start the season at quarterback. He was 29 of 58 for 571 yards and 5 touchdown passes and rushed for 80 yards. Unfortunately, broke a bone in that left hand area and obviously can't continue as the quarterback. So they have inserted a good athlete, Owen Gauss, who's familiar with the position, but they've used him in other areas, usually as a wingback, etc. So you know how it is in Class A football. It's a trickle-down effect.
Yeah, you got to be able to play about 4 different positions, and maybe and then some. But certainly Gauss is a familiar name. Before, I believe that's his dad that used to coach.
Yep, it is.
The Portage Mustangs. So he's got a pretty good lineage there. We'll see how he plays against a Homer defense that has been somewhat suspect.
Homer's defense now just updating. They've been victimized by the long ball since we're in the MLB playoffs. Homer Center has allowed 24 touchdown runs or passes covering 20 yards or more. Yeah. Not good.
No, it's terrible. And we've commented on that. We've tried not to be too critical, but after a while, it gets tiresome, and I'm sure the coaching staff feels the same way. These guys just aren't reacting, and they've played football for a long time. Just things that they should be doing fundamentally they're not doing, Mark, and that's costing us big time.
All right, the coaches' interviews are coming up next on our ITT pregame show. Marty Slonick in his 5th season, 2-0 against Homer Center. 25-24 overall. And then we'll follow that up with Homer Center's longest tenured, or at least tying Rick Faust for longest tenured head coach in his 18th season, Greg Page. 114-82, just 2-5 against the Mustangs. They've had his number a little bit in his career. The teams haven't met that much until recently when Portage joined the Heritage Conference. 13th all-time meeting. Series is tied 6-6. 4 of the first 12 meetings were in the District 6 playoffs. When our ITT pregame show continues, head coach Marty Slonick of the Portage Mustangs up next, right here on the IRMC Renda Media Football Network.
We're the lifeblood of the community.
It's so much more than just a job.
So good patient care is providing top quality care, but also in a timely fashion.
They don't need to go to Pittsburgh for that. They can stay right here in their backyard.
So when a patient walks into your office, you receive them as your family member.
A patient leaves my office feeling heard.
And the focus truly is on what will get us our best patient outcome.
So what sets S&T apart from other financial institutions is that they are visionary. Now, we understand that it is partially about the numbers, but they know it's not just about the numbers. It's about the management team, it's about the strategic and business plan, it's about how the team is going to execute on that. In short, S&T gets it. Quite honestly, we couldn't have done it without S&T.
Homer City American Legion Post 493, a longtime backer of Homer Center Athletics, is pleased to be a part of today's broadcast and wishes the best of luck to the Homer Center Wildcats this season. Homer City American Legion Post 493 has served Homer City and our veterans for more than half a century. They are a staple of the community and believe in giving back. So have fun today, teams. Represent your communities well from your friends at the Homer City American Legion Post 493. Renda Digital TV is Indiana County's leading live stream service. Our team of dedicated producers and on-air personalities work hard to bring you network-level event and sports coverage to your fingertips. And if you can't make it, every live stream is archived, so you never miss a minute. And for you IUP football fans, Renda Digital TV is the exclusive home of Hawk Talk, airing every Monday during the season. Subscribe to Renda Digital TV for free today.
Our ITT pregame show continues with Portage Mustangs head coach Marty Slonick. And coach, it's been an up and down season, and like your opponent, I guess you've had some challenges with injuries and the like, but you come here tonight to Memorial Field off of a shutout victory over Purchase Line, and you have a chance to clinch a playoff berth. So a lot at stake tonight.
Yeah, I mean, one of our goals was to make the playoffs, and through the ups and downs, like you said, we still have that opportunity. I mean, that's not all of our goals, but that's one of them as a team, and that's what we're aiming for.
So unusual last year, a sub 500 season. As a matter of fact, you and Homer Center, that was the first time since 2011 that you had both finished under 500. So you're trying to avoid that too, and with a strong finish, you can.
Yeah, I mean, that's not necessarily the goal. We just kind of go in every week to compete. I mean, that's what we try to do, and figure out as it goes what happens. But yeah, sitting at 3-5, this is not where we would have thought, but we all take accountability for where we're at right now, and we would have to win 2 to finish it out.
Marty, one of the big reasons, of course, your son Easton, the quarterback, was off to a good start, and then some misfortune with an injury that took him out of the quarterback position, but not completely out of the lineup, right? Because he's been playing injured, and you have to give him a lot of credit.
Yeah, I mean, he loves being part of it. He loves being on the field. It took a lot out of him to miss that one game, but he has a fracture in his wrist, just a goofy fall against Conemaugh Township. He actually stayed in the rest of that game, just at offense, and had to take the 1 week off, and then he's clubbed up and able to play defense and a little blocking back for us.
When you have, suffer an injury at the game's most important position, and especially at the Class A level, it definitely has a trickle-down effect too, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, because, then we take one of our most skilled athletes who was a running back, wide receiver that we got the ball to, and now he has to go to quarterback. And so you lose a weapon out there, but, he's been adjusting, and each game has been getting better and understanding his strengths and weaknesses as well. Calling the plays is different. So we're just, continuing to lean on him, and he's a senior and he's played a lot of sports and a lot of big games, and he's adjusting.
Isaac Walensky, big game last week against Purchase Line. He had a big game last year against Homer Center. Talk about his importance to your offense.
Yeah, I mean, we've had a tough time getting him going throughout the year. There's, for one reason or another, blocks here and there, up front, whatever. And it's very important to get him going. He's a big, strong kid that runs downhill. And if you can get him a crease, like we always say, we'll get you 5, you get us the rest. And he's a tough kid to bring down. I wouldn't want to tackle him.
Homer Center, as you know, they've struggled. I looked at their roster for tonight. 28% of their opening night roster will be in street clothes tonight. And it's just been a real tough stretch for Greg Page and his team. I know you have a lot of respect for Coach, and maybe you can talk about that in the scouting report on Homer Center.
Yeah, I mean, Coach Page is just, he's all class. He's been to the state championship. I mean, he's a great coach. Just seeing what he does, and even, sometimes the teams that go undefeated aren't your best coaching job because you just have kids. When you have to adjust and deal with injuries and adversity and maybe parents or whatever, sometimes those seasons you could end up 3 or 4 wins, and it might be some of your best coaching. So, I never underestimate him, and I know he'll have a plan. He'll have his kids ready.
I mean, you had mentioned parents, and it was a few weeks ago I referenced an article in the Altoona Mirror that I believe started with a tweet that you had put out there, maybe not necessarily about your own situation, but in a broader context about the theme, I guess, was some of the problems for coaches and teams start at the dinner table at home. And, some of the stories I hear from so many coaches, it's so foreign to me from what I'm used to from when I first started broadcasting, whether it's a parent calling or texting a coach. I just can't believe that the varsity level, and maybe even in college now, that's happening. But it's something as a coach, I guess you have to have broad shoulders. But you scored, by the way, you scored some points with me for that.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of just a reflection. I don't really do a whole lot of that. And it was after our first game, which was a win. And I just hear from other coaches and parents, and it's tough. I mean, it's tough to be a player, coach, parent, everything involved in the program. And it's just, we tend to overreact, just not in sports, but as a society. And I think they have to put some real value to it and understand that these coaches have the best interest of your kid. It's not always going to be the way they want it, but it's sometimes their role isn't what their best abilities are. It is what's best for the team. And, it's tough, when that's your kid and they want to make sure that they're succeeding, or maybe, change their perspective on what the team is. So it's tough, and it's tough as a coach, but it's tough as a player and a parent as well. I mean, I know personally coaches will tell stories. I mean, there's times during the season I have friends, or they just stop talking to you, or if things aren't going well, or if you win. But I mean, that's part of it. That's just part of it. We understand that. We understand that they know what they know, and we know what we know, and we just have to continue to do our best and hope it works out.
Coach, finally, keys for your team tonight.
We got to limit mistakes. We got to keep the ball off the ground. Win the turnover battle, obviously, and we have to possess the football. The less chance they have with the ball, the less chances they have to score. So defensively, we have to do our job, get off the field, and then we have to possess the ball and put some points up early and try to get control of the game as fast as we can.
Marty, I appreciate you doing this. A lot of respect for your program, and of course, formerly Coach Giles. A lot of winning over at Portage, and we wish you the best of luck tonight and moving forward as well.
All right. Thank you, Mark. I really appreciate it.
Head coach Marty Slonick, and our pregame show on a senior night from Memorial Field will continue with head coach Greg Page. That and more when we come back right here on the IRMC Renda Media Football Network.
At Grand Beginnings Children's Center, their focus is on growing and teaching children to be the best they can be. They know children need education, inclusion, and safety. Grand Beginnings has a mission to provide a warm and nurturing environment in which each child can grow physically, emotionally, socially, intellectually, and spiritually. Grand Beginnings Children's Center with 2 locations in Indiana, teaching children to shine since 1991. Call 724-463-1819. Find them at grandbeginnings.net.
Don't miss the Dowd 74th anniversary sale. Whether you want to furnish one room or your entire home, you'll save big. Right now, buy one item at Dowd's special sale price and get a second item of equal or lesser value at half off. That's right, every other item at half off. Plus, get 1 year free financing. The Dowd 74th anniversary sale. Drive a little, save a lot. Dowd's of Plumville and Greensburg.
Doesn't your home deserve Dowds?
Renda Digital TV is Indiana County's leading live stream service. Our team of dedicated producers and on-air personalities work hard to bring you network-level event and sports coverage to your fingertips. And if you can't make it, every live stream is archived, so you never miss a minute. And for you IUP football fans, Renda Digital TV is the exclusive home of Hawk Talk, airing every Monday during the season. Subscribe to Renda Digital TV for free today.
Save up to $12,000 on a new F-150 at Luther Ford. At Luther Ford, buy a new 2024 F-150 4x4 XLT Super Crew full hybrid and save up to $12,000. Or buy a new 2024 Ford F-150 Super Duty 4x4 XLT Super Crew and save up to $8,000. Wow! And everyone qualifies. Luther Ford with 2 locations and twice the inventory. The savings are huge. Luther Ford, Route 119, Homer City, and Admiral Perry Highway, Evansburg.
Hi.
We're looking for insurance.
Oh, let's see who's free.
When insurance agents work for only one company, their options are simply limited. But a Trusted Choice independent agent is free to shop many companies for a better deal. Free to do what's right for you.
More choices and more savings at Walbeck Insurance. 479-9378. 479-9378.
Welcome back to our ITT pregame show from Memorial Field in Homer City. Time for the head coach Greg Page show, being videoed on a Thursday night at the Grayston Coral Sportsman's Club Twin Cities Event Hall. Coach, and I know we talked about it on our Facebook preview, but tip of the football helmet to the crew at the Sportsman's Club. That was a mighty fine dinner they fed you and the team, and myself too.
Yeah, I think this is 3 years going now that we've had a night where we can come down here, and I love it. I mean, you know, who doesn't like spaghetti? And then the sauce is incredible. So the staff that was here, you know, Sticky Lawson and his crew, just a great group of people. We've been really blessed with their support over the last couple years.
Senior night tonight at Memorial Field, final home game. That means, of course, it's senior night. 11 seniors will be recognized, and there's going to be a couple more you'll be without. You were without Braden Dunn last year, and he might be lost for the season now with an injury. And then Ocean Maritita, kind of under the radar, broke his arm last week. I didn't even pick up on it during the course of that first half. So I guess we add them to the list, right?
Yeah, it's been tough. It's tough for that group of boys that, you know, has worked hard and looked forward to this time for a long time, you know. When you get to be seniors, it's your year, and I think tonight we're only going to be able to dress 5 of them to play out of 11, and that's difficult. I know it wears on some of them that have missed some time, and of course it's affected us too because there's some good football players. But more importantly, you know, we thank them for what they've done for our program, the years of service, and as always, you know, you want these last couple weeks to go as good as they can for the seniors and send them off the right way.
Hey, there's a senior. I promised him a shout-out and kind of seeked him out there yesterday at the Sportsman's Club. Jeremiah Rushton, 3-year trainer. And I know he works real hard behind the scenes, so I wanted to give him a little Renda Digital TV and WCCS love.
Absolutely. I love the kid. It started early in 10th grade. He was in my geometry class, and I said, hey, you know, we're in class. You're looking for a couple football managers. And he said, oh, I might be interested. And I look at this long-haired kid with the denim jacket, and I'm like, I don't know, man. And I said, you serious? He goes, yeah, I'll give it a shot. And we had him hooked. And, you know, the other interesting thing about Rushy is, besides being a great team manager, him and one of the Pribish boys from Luzerne helped to rebuild our deck this summer in July. And quite an interesting ordeal, but we got it done, and it looks a lot better than it did, and I'm grateful to them and to him for his time too. He's been a really good kid.
Outstanding story. The Portage Mustangs, the opponent tonight, 3-5 record. They lost their starting quarterback, Easton Slonick, Coach Marty Slonick's son. Although he's still playing, he just can't play quarterback with that thick cast that he's been wearing. But credit to him for kind of gutting it out. Offensively, they're kind of a different team. They've been shut out 3 times, but they still run an offense that can give you fits.
Yeah, and they always want to run the ball. If they're at full health, they're a wing T team, and that's been something that's been their tradition for years. And they run it well. They got a little bit of a newer line, but with the backs and the skill people they still have, like Walensky and Smithrow and Gauss now is going to quarterback, and people like Bodie Leo. I mean, they do some good things. They've started to just come right at people, and they really did have their times where they took it to PL last week.
Isaac Walensky has been kind of quiet for the larger part of this season until last week. He kind of had a breakout game, and I know he kind of gave you nightmares last year because he rushed for about $190, including a 62-yard run in the rain at Portage Stadium.
Yeah, typical that he would be getting into his stride, coming into our game. But he's a kid for a couple years now who's done good things for them. And actually got bigger over the last year, so he's more of a prototype fullback. And he's a tough kid once he gets going north and south, and you let him get going. He's hard to tackle. For us, one of our strengths, if we could say that defensively, has been some play between the tackles, so hopefully we're up to that challenge.
Coach, finally, 2 games left. I know you haven't given up on this season, but as a head coach, how much of these last 2 games are maybe a mini tryout and evaluation for next year for, to be candid, who wants to be here and who doesn't?
Well, actually, since you mentioned it, probably the last 5 or 6 weeks have been kind of like a tryout with the injuries that keep accruing. And you always tell your kids, next man up, and we got younger guys, you need to come along throughout the season, and some of them really have. I'm not going to look forward at this point, but the bottom line is, we've had to work some younger kids just simply due to attrition, and, they've stepped up. I mean, honestly, we're probably just a couple kids away from now having to really dip into some real young kids that probably aren't ready for varsity football yet, but those kids have worked hard to support our older guys. But it's been a battle. I mean, there's no question about it. And, for me personally, you feel for the kids that haven't been able to play, the older kids, because some of them just aren't going to get another shot at this.
Yeah. Coach, thanks for doing this. We'll talk to you on the post-game show as well.
Okay, thank you guys very much.
And we want to thank everybody at the Twin Cities Event Hall, the Grayston Coral Sportsman's Club. If you're watching tonight's broadcast on Renda Digital TV, without them, we aren't here. We're not standing here. Well, we might have still had spaghetti. I don't know. But that was pretty good stuff Thursday night at the Twin Cities Event Hall. Coming back with the Luther Ford keys to the game, the starting lineups, and more when we continue from Memorial Field in Homer City. It's the Portage Mustangs and the Homer Center Wildcats right here on the IRMC Renda Media Football Network.
To be a champion, you need to have teamwork, great skills, good conditioning, and above all, you need to stay healthy. But if injury occurs, you need a team of specialists that can get you back in the game. Indiana Total Therapy has been helping area athletes for years. Indiana Total Therapy, with 3 locations, IRMC at Chestnut Ridge in Blairsville, Shelley Drive in Indiana, and at the Human Motion Institute on the campus of IRMC. ITT, the best in our field, and voted Best Physical Therapy in the Best of Indiana County contest.
Twin Cities Event Hall is the perfect place to host your next special occasion. The event hall is located on the grounds of the Grayston Coral Sportsman's Club, featuring an air-conditioned banquet room that comfortably seats 200, a beverage bar, a stage, refurbished hardwood dance floor, and a new kitchen that is caterer-friendly. The event hall has added a new outdoor stage, too, that's perfect for weddings, anniversary parties, or any special occasion. The Twin Cities Event Hall is now accepting bookings into 2025. Find them on Facebook or call 724-541-3683.
Hi, I'm Eric Brocious. Many of you know me as a high school teacher and a coach. What you didn't know, though, is I'm also a businessman. owner of EMB Computing. I'd like to invite you to our new state-of-the-art facility to see our line of computers, laptops, iPads, MacBooks, and accessories. If you're a business owner, we'll assist you with your networks, servers, workstations, printers, and even your business phone systems. We are located at 57 North 11th Street in Indiana, or you can find us on the web at embcomputing.com. We are your technology specialists.
SCG Hobby. It's in the name. Sports cards, comics, gaming, and more. Speaking of more, they also have a huge selection of Legos, board games, Dungeons & Dragons, and Warhammer. Whatever you fancy, they've got you covered. Come join the SCG family for fun events and tournaments nightly, including Magic, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, and more. Dive into a world of sports and fantasy at the SCG Hobby nearest you, with locations in Indiana, Latrobe, Altoona, and North Huntington. Find out more by logging into scghobby.com.
When it comes to screen printing and promotional items, nobody does it better than S&S Screen Printing of Indiana. Stop in and check out how S&S Screen Printing can help your business, school, or booster club grow with a full line of apparel and promotional items. Or visit them online and see the full lineup at snsscreenprinting.net. snsscreenprinting.net. Yes, snsscreenprinting.net. S&S Screen Printing, 1200 School Street in Indiana. At S&S Screen Printing, they do it right here.
Don't miss the Dowd 74th anniversary sale. Whether you want to furnish one room or your entire home, you'll save big. Right now, buy one item at Dowd's special sale price and get a second item of equal or lesser value at half off. That's right, every other item at half off. Plus, get 1 year free financing. The Dowd 74th anniversary sale. Drive a little, save a lot. Dowd's of Plumville and Greensburg.
Doesn't your home deserve Dowds?
Join you in our S&T Bank broadcast booth, People Forward Banking, and it is time for the Luther Ford Keys to the Game. Ward?
Well, if you're Portage, the one thing you want to do is establish that fullback up the middle. Everything they do runs off of that fullback, and then they run plays right off of that. And if you can't control that, you're in trouble. The second thing they got to do is just bottle up Carson Arone. Force him to throw quickly. Don't give him time to find the receivers and keep him pretty much occupied that way. And finally, they just need to avoid giving Homer any short fields. I say that every week, but the Wildcat offense isn't dynamic and by any stretch of imagination. So short fields, they have a chance to get in the end zone. So you don't want to be doing that if you're Portage. If you're Homer Center, you got to take care of Carson Arone. You can't let him back there running for his life. I think they need to go to a short passing game. Little half rollouts, throwing it flat 5 yards is 5 yards, and just keep the ball. And finally, force some turnovers. If you're the Wildcats, your defense has got to have to do that. You're going against a very good running team. Fumbles are always a possibility. I think they need to force a couple more.
Keys to the Game driven by Luther Ford, where it's Truck Month at Luther Ford, Route 119, Homer City. They also have a big lineup of SUVs, including the Bronco Sport, the Explorer, and more. Luther Ford, and online at lutherfordhomercity.com. We're going to put Ward right back to work when our ITT pregame show continues. On a senior night, the Portage Mustang Marching Band performing their pregame show due to senior night here. They're doing their halftime show before the game. Portage Mustang Marching Band, you can probably hear them in the background. You'll hear Ward in the foreground with the starting lineups when we continue on the IRMC Renda Media Football Network.
Looking for unbeatable savings on TV and internet? Bundle and save with Dish TV and HughesNet satellite internet. Now you can get $5 off each bill and lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Dish TV packages start at just $84.99 a month, and HughesNet plans begin at $59.99 a month. Call SeaWorld Satellites today at 724-463-3200 and start saving. SeaWorld Satellites, your one-stop shop for TV and internet savings.
Every year, we go on a search for great snacks or treats. Children enjoy more than just candy on Halloween. The best sources of calcium are milk, yogurt, and cheese. Kids like us love string cheese because it's tasty and fun to pull, twist, and eat. And parents love string cheese because it's rich in calcium, whatever that is. So give us kids the fun and goodness we are looking for. Make it a very dairy Halloween. A message from Allied Milk Producers.
What sets one insurance agency apart from another? Building relationships. Hunt & Blues Insurance prides themselves on building strong personal relationships with their clients. Hunt & Blues is an independent agency offering you choices to get you the best coverage at the best rate. When you buy insurance, whether it's for your home, car, business, life, or retirement, you want an agency working in your best interest. And that's Hunt & Blues Insurance, 2 locations, Indiana and Johnstown.
Robindale and its affiliated companies are proud to be a sponsor of all student athletes in the area. For nearly 2 decades, Robindale has been cleaning up refuse coal piles that dot and scar the western Pennsylvania landscape. To reclimate and beautify these areas, Robindale believes deeply in safety, compliance, and community responsibility. If you would like to become a part of the Robindale team, you can contact them at 814-446-6700, extension 122, or see how Robindale can assist your business at robindale.com.
Don't miss the Dowd 74th anniversary sale. Whether you want to furnish one room or your entire home, you'll save big. Right now, buy one item at Dowd's special sale price and get a second item of equal or lesser value at half off. That's right, every other item at half off. Plus, get 1 year free financing. The Dowd 74th anniversary sale. Drive a little, save a lot. Dowd's of Plumville and Greensburg.
Doesn't your home deserve Dowds?
The Indiana County Technology Center is now accepting enrollment in our adult education programs. The ICTC's adult education programs offer in-demand post-secondary programs tailored to empower student success. From cosmetology to welding and practical nursing, the ICTC has a program for everyone. Indiana County Technology Center, empowering tomorrow's workforce.
National anthem. So we'll see if we can pick that up as best we can with our field mic. Center marching band from their bleachers. We try picking that up the best we can, where we'll be able to pick you up much better with the starting lineups brought to you by Indiana County Technology Center, the region's premier technology center, providing the necessary tools to jumpstart your future. Visit their website at ictc.edu. Ward?
Okay, for Portage, Gavin Bobalski will be the one, and he is a junior, 5'9", 160. Left tackle, Jason Long, a senior, 5'11", 210. Ethan Stripmatter, the left guard, a sophomore, 5'8", 194. The center will be Brock Miko. He's a junior, 6'2", 200. Josh Harshberger, the right guard, another junior, 6'2", 250. Jordan Klein will be the right tackle. He's just a sophomore at 6'1", 255, and Bodie Leo, is the tight end, senior, 6'4", 215. Boy, he's been on this team a long time. Owen Gauss will be the quarterback, the senior, 5'11", 150. Noah Walensky will be the fullback. He's a junior, 6'1", 190. Easton Slonick will be one of the running backs. He's a junior, 5'10", 181. And Brendan Smithrow will be the wide wingback, 6', 194. Homer Center. Left end, tight end, Deegan Fedoric. He's a sophomore, 6'3", 176. Left tackle, Eli Butterly, senior, 5'11", 228. Josh Valuchik will be the left guard, a senior, 5'9", 194. Zach Wilson, the center, 5'9", 244. He is a senior. Zeke Butterly, a sophomore at right guards, 5'9", 173. Gabe Rufner, the right tackle. He's a junior, 6'3", 231. And Drew Fisher will be one of the other wideouts. He is a junior at 6'1", 156. In the backfield will be quarterback Carson Around, sophomore, 5'10", 151. He'll be joined by Sean Valuchik. He's a senior at 5'9", 153. At a running back, Riley Cobalt will be one of the wingbacks. He's a junior, 5'8", 156, and Colin Doherty also joined them in the backfield, a senior at 5'9", 132.
He's a receiver, actually, but that's okay.
Doherty,
yes. Ward, I know you've only been doing 9 games with me this year. I wouldn't expect you to know that. You mentioned Braden Dunn. Of course, he's out. Braden Dunn in his career, talk about a Swiss Army knife, 132 passes he attempted as a quarterback, 231 rushes, and he caught 26 passes for 2,100 all-purpose yards. So it's a shame his career has to end like this.
All around play.
I have a second set of starting lineups for Homer Center. What you gave, here you go. These are the injured, so I made a lineup, partial, mostly complete lineup.
You got too much time on your hands.
Well, I just sketched it out here. So here we go. At left guard will be Caden McAnulty. He will get to start. Caden McAnulty, a sophomore, 6'1", 206. Dom Shimko will start at center, a sophomore, 5'9", 178. Colin Dunn will be at the right guard, a freshman, 5'8", 216. CJ Fairbanks gets a start, another freshman, 5'11", 228. At quarterback will be Braden Dunn. The running backs will be freshman Gabe Cobaugh and senior Brian Mills, and the receivers tonight, Will and Dan Jones, will be joined by Ocean Maritita.
And filling in tonight only.
There's
not a bad lineup.
There's a lot of starters there.
At one time, they all started. Hey. Fans, that's the ITT pregame show. Stay with us for the opening kickoff. It's coming up next when we continue from Memorial Field on a beautiful night, a senior night tonight, and we will have the opening kick when we return on the IRMC Renda Media Football Network.
At IRMC, we have all of the necessary pieces in place to perform complex operations, including highly skilled and specially trained surgeons, their support team of experts, and advanced technology like the Da Vinci robotic surgical system. As a result, patients spend less time in the hospital, recover faster, and get treated close to home. So there's no reason to puzzle over where you should get your surgical care. The answer is right here at IRMC.
Greyston Coral Sportsman's Club continues to soar, and the club is proud to offer newly remodeled facilities for its many members. Voted best social and sportsman's club in Indiana County, the club features a large 3-acre fishing pond that is well-stocked and offers a shooting range that is open year-round. The club takes pride in hosting kid-friendly events and the annual fireworks display for the 4th of July. Inside, club members can enjoy a newly remodeled bar area, the perfect place to unwind and watch your favorite team. The Greyston Coral Sportsman's Club. Go! Let's go!
Teach them one of these days not to talk over this stuff.
Accept the ball to begin the game.
They declined, deferred, and Homer Center will receive the opening kickoff. Just heard from the Greyston Coral Sportsman's Club. They have that big event coming up tomorrow night, the Gun Bash at the Greyston Coral Sportsman's Club. Over 1,200 members. You can call or see them for tickets. They will be available at the door at the Twin Cities Event Hall. That is tomorrow at the Greyston Coral Sportsman's Club. And tonight is pizza night. Always great. I like the thin. Some people like the thicker crust, but it's whatever you like. That's what's most important. The opening kickoff will be brought to you by Grand Beginnings Children's Center with 2 locations in Indiana. And they are also helping the kids through our 46th Teddy Bear Fund Drive. All 4 of our broadcasts across the radio network tonight, they donate $1 for every point scored. through the first 8 weeks of the season, that total has reached $1,354 for the Teddy Bear Fund Drive. Grand Beginnings Children's Center, we can't thank them enough for their support teaching children to shine since 1991. Kicking off will be Bodie Leo.
Bodie Leo, they kick off for the Mustangs.
Homer's going to be going left to right across your radio dial. I always wanted to say that. That's actually in the direction of the scoreboard.
And if that's the south end zone, and if you're watching, of course, you'll be able to see them going left to right on Renda Digital TV. Nice short hop pickup, and it's Colin Doherty over the 35-yard line, and he will go down. See where they put him down. Easton Slonick, coach's son, on that tackle, and they're going to put it down
start first and
up
10
near
the 36-yard line.
The 36-yard line, actually.
Well, we ought to be in good shape with spotters here. We have both messengers here, but Donnie sort of disappeared now, so we got Denny behind us here.
Wildcat offense averaging 15.8 points a game, only 104 yards rushing, 89 passing, 193 overall. And they start on the left hash. And Carson Arone takes the handoff and hands it off. No, he's going to keep it on the read option, and he's going to be tackled for a loss on the far side of the field. Lucas Gathers, who leads the team from his outside linebacker position with 49 tackles, made the first tackle of the game.
Too much penetration there on that right side. You got to give him a little bit of a gap to run, or that's going to be the result, a loss of 3.
Back to the 33-yard line. Wildcats had -9 yards last week against Cambria Heights. Motion man is Volucic. They go empty and flood the right side. They throw out in the flat. Drew Fisher takes it at the 30, and he's going to be knifed down after a 1-yard gain up to the 34. Easton Slonick on the tackle for the Portage Mustangs. Their defense, 23.6 points per game. They allow 172 yards rushing, 58 passing, 230 overall. The Wildcat defense, 343. Portage has been involved in their 8 games, 4 shutouts. They've been on the losing end of 3 of the 4, and their defense tossed a shutout last week at Purchase Line.
No, it's a good program. It's solid, but they have certainly been up and down.
The double-A teams, we'll talk about this a little bit tonight, have absolutely dominated single-A teams this year. Carson, pretty good protection, going to loft it downfield, and too far for the tight end Deegan Fedoric. On the coverage was Owen Gauss, Gary Gauss, former coach's son. There's also a flag on the play, and an ineligible man downfield, and I'm sure the Mustangs' Marty Solonic will decline that. Coach Slonick,
a penalty will be declined
in his
4th down and 12.
Not the start the Wildcats wanted, Mark. 3 and out again. This has been a recurring theme with this offense, and they've got to find ways to move the football and really to move it on the ground. That's the heritage of this program.
Brady Frazier's 25th punt of the season. He's averaging 37.5 yards per punt. He has 900 yards of punting yardage this season. It's an end-over-end line drive kick that takes an excellent roll. Going to roll inside the 15, inside the 10, and going to roll dead at about the 7-yard line. 60-yard punt and no return. So now he has 960 yards of punt yardage.
That'll help the average. That will. That was again. There's 2 receivers back here. One of them has to catch that ball, and this has been one of my pet peeves about anybody returning punts. You got to stop the ball, catch the ball.
Well, it's interesting that Brady's had some booming punts, above the lights.
Yep.
That was not one of them. It was one of his uglier ones, and it works out for him because it ends up, as you said, they didn't field it, a 60-yard punt, no return.
Let's see if the defense now can keep Portage from getting the first down here. That's been a big problem.
Ball's at the 7-yard line, and they have a man in motion, and there's a flag, and I think we're going to have illegal procedure, and we will. We're just real quickly, the double-A dominance as we wrote about, or I did in the Renda magazine before this season, the top 4 Class 2A teams in the conference, Cambria Heights, River Valley, Marion Center, and United Valley, are a combined 16-2 against 1A schools. They've outscored them 626 to 137. That's an average of 35-8. Last week there were 2 such matchups. United Valley and Cambria Heights outscored their opponents 76 to nothing. You won't convince me that this isn't going to be a problem moving forward.
It's a problem.
With the football, Noah Walensky, and Noah Walensky tackled for a loss back near the 1-yard line.
Carry brought down by number 65.
On the tackle, Gabe Ruffner, who's really been coming on, a 6'3", 231-pound junior, third on the team in tackles. And after the penalty and the loss, it's going to be second down and about 17 to go. Original line of scrimmage was the 7, and they're now at about the 1-yard line. So I guess that would be 16.
Yeah, well, the one thing that I'm sure Portage has noted is Homer is very weak on the ends. A lot of big plays have been going off the ends, so let's see if they can tighten it up here.
And the quarterback, Owen Gauss, is going to keep it, just trying to get them away from the shadow of their own goalpost. Not a lot of running room.
Yeah, good job so far by the D. But again, Mark, we've seen this. Homer will have 2 good plays, and then on the third down, boom.
Only a gain of a yard. We see it on the video monitor in the booth quicker or better than we do with our naked eyes.
Yeah, it is clear, isn't it?
So they're at the 2. They need to get to the 17. Third down and 15 for the Mustangs. And Gauss, they snap it directly, and I think that was Noah Walensky who took that direct snap, and it was.
Walensky on the carry.
The junior, 6'1", 190. And they will have to send out the punt team.
Boy, that's a good series for Homer defense. That's got to be a confidence builder. At least you would hope so.
The punter's Bodie Leo, pretty good average, 35.1. He stands at his own end line, and it's a line drive kick, and Koba lets it get by him. Now he picks it up at his own 48, heads far sideline, being chased by Tony Lawrence, and to the 40, to the 35-yard line, and there's a flag and maybe a late hit on the Portage Mustangs. We'll have to see what the penalty's all about, but a good return. I thought the Wildcats were going to be guilty of the same error as the Mustangs and letting that punt roll, but Riley Koba picked it up and took it for, yardage to the 33-yard line, so 19-yard return plus the personal foul.
He pursued it beautifully and then had enough speed to get to the edge and then got knocked out of bounds, and they got another flag there, and so that added to it. Boy, this is setting Homer up in a position they're not too familiar with.
50-yard punt, 19-yard return, plus the penalty.
Riley's a heady football player, and he's got a lot of courage when he plays out there.
Empty set for the Wildcats from the 19-yard line, and read option, and it's going to be Carson Arone tripped up by Easton Slonick. And if he gets by Slonick, he's going to have some decent running room, but as it stands, he's going to lose a couple of yards.
Yeah, that read option just has not been working. Carson is fairly fast, but you got to have some quickness there too once you make your read and take off. Didn't quite make the corner.
Second down, 12 to go. Original line of scrimmage, I guess it was the 18-yard line. And Arone, shotgun snap, pressure coming, throwing down the right sideline, incomplete, no flag. It'll be third down and 12. 7:23 to play here in this scoreless first quarter, being presented by friends of Jim Struzzi.
Third down and 12.
River Valley has jumped out in front of Northern Cambria on a safety, 2-0. Game that's probably bigger for River Valley from a playoff point standpoint. Sideline warning.
Homer a little upset about that. They thought there might have been some pass interference downfield.
Yeah.
I did not see that.
Definitely a non-call.
But again, as I said earlier, the short out patterns, just get your 5 yards and keep moving the ball. So far, we haven't done that.
Word in the 10, I mentioned the double-A dominance in the 10 games played between 1A schools, one like tonight, 1A versus 1A. And there's a timeout, so we'll get back to it after the break. Timeout's brought to you by Luxembourg's Jewelers. Downtown store temporarily closed. Shopped at the Indiana Mall. Indiana's Jewelers since 1916. Scoreless, 7:23 to play in the first on the IRMC Renda Media Football Network.
Luxembourg's Jewelers in Indiana reminds you that if you're in need of gifts for your special someone, stop in and choose from a huge selection of diamonds, pendants, rings, and more. How about a watch from Bulova, G-Shock, or Harley-Davidson? Luxembourg's Jewelers can also customize plaques and trophies for any occasion. With 2 convenient locations, Luxembourg's Jewelers is the winning choice for gifts for any occasion. At the Indiana Mall or downtown, Luxembourg's Jewelers is Indiana's jeweler.
Hi, this is State Representative Jim Struzzi, and I'm proud to serve the 62nd Legislative District. We take pride in our communities, and I'm proud to support our area teams and all our students, wishing them the best of luck this school year. As we approach this year's election, I encourage you to make your voice heard, whether by mail or on the polls at Election Day. I am grateful for your past support, proud of the progress we've made together, and even more excited about the future. The best is yet to come.
Presented by State Representative Jim Struzzi. Proud of our progress, and the best is yet to come. Paid for by friends of Jim Struzzi.
As we come back, the pass for the end zone intended for Riley Cobaugh is incomplete. So the Wildcats will send out the field goal team. Riley just couldn't catch up to that heading toward the left flag. So it'll be Brady Fraser out of the hold of Carson Arone. Normally it would be Braden Dunn, but he's lost for the season. Right to left kick from the 27-yard line. It'll be a 37-yard attempt. Snap is put down and Brady's kick is up. And Brady's kick is no good. Wide right at plenty of distance, but he missed it to the right. So Portage holds off Homer Center.
That was a big opportunity blown there by the Wildcats. And again, you want to possess the ball. I know they're trying to make a completion, get some big yardage, but the key is to keep the ball away from the Portage offense. That did not work that time. So again, a 3-and-out, missed field goal.
Portage will take over at their own 20-yard line. And if you're watching, you already know this, but for our WCCS listeners, I like the look. White pants, white jerseys, green numbers.
Easy to read.
Green helmets, yeah, easy to read is the key. Owen Gauss, the quarterback, has a man in motion, and he gives it to Easton Slonick around the right end. And again, pretty good defense by Homer Center.
Yeah, very good. That was the type of play that they've given up huge yardage.
Sean Voluchik on the tackle. Tied for the team with 45 tackles. This Portage offense, as I mentioned, they've been shut out 3 times this season. They lost the season opener at home to Marion Center 21-0. At Cambria Heights 45-0. And United Valley 28-0. So they have not scored a lot of points, the exception a win over Conemaugh Valley 47-8. They're faced with 2nd down and 11 here with 6.5 minutes to play in this scoreless quarter, and they give it up the middle. And again, good defense by Homer Center. Let's see if that was Noah Walensky on the carry, and it was. This junior 6'1", 190 who enters the game.
Early on, they're definitely missing the other Walensky. And,
Jackson Taylor also on that tackle.
Well, let's see what happens here. This is usually the bugaboo of this defense, a 3rd and longs.
54, Jackson Taylor also on that stop.
Here we go, 3rd down and 11 from the 19-yard line. They have a receiver to the left boundary in Gavin Bobolski. And the lefty, Gauss, throws underneath, has a receiver, but good defense, tackles that receiver who was Bodie Leo, the tight end, in his tracks. And there's a flag on the play. It's Valuchik again on the tackle.
Flag on the play.
Illegal procedure declined. So the Wildcats will force a 3 and out.
Will bring up 4th down and 11.
And Portage will have to punt. So neither team has picked up a first down. It makes the job easy. Yes, he's in the house. They dropped them off in the limo. Jerry Rossi, our statistician. Jerry waved to everybody out there in radio and digital TV land. Bodileo to punt, and it might have been partially blocked. And it's going to roll near sideline and roll toward the 41-yard line and roll dead. We will have a media timeout after a 40-yard punt and no return. 5:20 to play in a scoreless first quarter here on the IRMC Renda Media Football Network.
Wildcats will take over.
MarionCenterBank.com. Looking for a bank that's rooted in your community? Looking for a bank that has all the latest options that a hometown bank should have? For personal and business banking, home loans and student loans, and fraud protection that's state-of-the-art, trust Marion Center Bank. With locations servicing Indiana, Armstrong, and Cambria counties. Struggling with student loan applications and decisions? Now is the perfect time to inquire about student loans at Marion Center Bank. MarionCenterBank.com. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Dan in a van hasn't returned your call? Chuck in a truck can't get there for 2 months? Stop dealing with fly-by-nighters and call a company that's fully capable for all your plumbing and heating needs. Joyce Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Incorporated. Joyce Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Incorporated is on call 24/7, 365 days a year. Visit us at joyceplumbing.com. That's joyceplumbing.com. Joyce Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Incorporated, the best place in town to take a leak. PA 042115.
With you in our S&T Bank broadcast booth, People Forward Banking, 5:20 left here in the first quarter on a senior night at Memorial Field. We'll close out the season for Homer Center next Friday at Conemaugh Township. Thank you to the Greyston Coral Sportsman's Club. Treated the entire team last night to dinner. Pizza night tonight. You can call ahead, place your order at 479-3985. 479-3985. Wildcats take over at their own 41. Toss left to Valuchik. Trying to get by one defender. He does, but can't get by the second. Easton Slonick and also Logan Grove over there to assist. And no gain. Boy, Easton Slonick, for playing with a broken bone in his wrist, he's playing like a young man possessed. He's third on the team in tackles entering the game with 39 tackles. Wardy's been all over the field here in the early going.
Oh, he's back in the secondary, and he's just pointing out things to the rest of the guys. So he knows what's going on out there, and they closed in on that pitch real quick.
Northern Cambria just scored against River Valley, and they take a 6-2 lead unless there was a penalty on the play. Second down and 10. They throw a little bubble screen out in the flat. It's Riley Cobaugh zigging and zagging up near midfield. Going to be a solid gain of 8 yards or so.
Riley, a good open field runner. Did it right there. He had a block, and he used it beautifully and got 8 yards, almost 8 yards. So
Logan Grove on the tackle. That touchdown good for Northern Cambria. They're just now kicking the extra point, and that kick is no good. So it's 6-2. 3 games on Renda Digital TV tonight. Second down and 2 to go. Carson Arone goes under center, and he gives up the middle, and the Mustangs stack that up with the football for the Homer Center Wildcats was Sean Valuchik, and Sean was tackled by Jordan Klein.
Jordan Klein on the stop for the Mustangs.
Defensively in there
4th and 3
for the injured Isaac Walensky.
Homer deciding here, looks like the punt. That was a little attempt to shoot the runner up the middle and then run a little reverse the other way. It was open, but they went up the middle and got nothing out of it.
4th down, 1.5 yards, the Wildcats to punt. Brady Frazier takes the snap, gets the kick away, kicks it far sideline, taken on the run nicely by Tony Lawrence, the 5'10", 155-pound senior, about a 9-yard return, tackled on the punt coverage team by Riley Cobaugh, and the Mustangs will take over. So that's a disappointing 3 and out for Homer Center, and Coach Page playing the field position game.
Yeah, they've got to find some ways to get positive yardage on every play, Mark. They're not doing that and just unable to convert third downs.
From the 29-yard line, the Mustangs will take over. 1st and 10. Gauss, the quarterback, has a man in motion, but going to give it up the middle. And Noah Walensky on the carry. And Walensky, not much running room there for Homer Center inside linebacker Cody Bell, tied for third on the tackle on the team with 32 tackles. Gain of only a yard to the 30-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 9. Football pretty much in the center of the field. Field looks great tonight. Ward, a little better weather to get it prepared, and the numbers are now filled in, 40, 30, 20, 50. I like that. That was kind of psychedelic or something, like a neon look.
Yeah,
it was hard to read couple of weeks ago.
It was just the outline of the numbers.
I think it was due to all the rain.
Oh, they had a lot of rain.
Unless there was maybe a paint shortage. We'll have to ask Mookie about that, but it looks great tonight. Rolling to his left is Owen Gauss. Throwing, has a receiver behind the secondary at midfield, behind the backers, and hauling the pass in was Brendan Smithrow. His 7th reception of the season, and it goes for good yardage, doesn't it? 24 yards to the Wildcat 46. Forced out of bounds by Brady Fraser.
Secondary kind of got caught napping there. There's no way a guy should be that open downfield. That, again, is just experience. You see a left-hander rolling to his left, you got to keep looking around and behind you to know where the receivers are. Homer did not do that.
Owen Gauss, since replacing Slonick due to that injury, entering the game, he was just 5 of 15 for 80 yards. He gives to Noah Walensky, and Noah's going to be flung down for a loss. Portage having trouble getting traction on the ground. Was that Gabe Ruffner on the tackle? I don't know if we lost of a yard. Do we have a replay, John, or no? No replay. Ruffner, Dennis Mester, our spotter in the booth, by the way. Thank you, Dennis.
They like to run off their fullback. You know, they use him a lot of times just for a decoy and then pitch. So far, the fullback has not established himself.
Dennis will be making the trip, I think. He's always been a fan of Davidsville. Next Friday. 2nd down and 11. Motion man is Smithrow. They hand it to him. He's trying to get to the edge. Has a yard or two, and that's all. Good Homer Center defense defending that edge, which they haven't been real good at this season. Gabe Ruffner again. One thing about all these injuries, Ward, there have been some young players that we have seen grow as we approach the 1-minute mark, by the way. 1:10 on the scoreboard clock. We are scoreless. Portage faced with a 3rd down and 10 at the Wildcat 46.
I always say that. Injuries provide, an opportunity for someone to step up and show what they can do. And so far, I'm impressed the way this defense is playing. I shouldn't say that. This is 3rd down.
Under a minute, if you're watching on Renda Digital TV, you just saw the scoreboard counting under 50 seconds, and now a timeout going to be called. And we'll step out for 60 as well. Timeouts all night long brought to you by Luxembourg's Jewelers. We're scoreless with 46 seconds left in the first quarter on the IRMC Renda Media Football Network.
What's the most popular 5-passenger SUV in central Pennsylvania? That's an easy one. It's the Mitsubishi Outlander Sport, of course. You see them everywhere. I mean everywhere. And why not? It's by far the greatest value on the market. With more standard features than most, great fuel economy, and the best warranty on the planet, buying a new Outlander Sport's an easy choice above all others. You gotta have one. Get your best Mitsubishi deal today at the Mitsubishi Giant.
5-star Mitsubishi. It doesn't get better than this.
We're the lifeblood of the community.
It's so much more than just a job.
So good patient care is providing top quality care, but also in a timely fashion.
They don't need to go to Pittsburgh for that. They can stay right here in their backyard.
So when a patient walks into your office, you receive them as your family member.
A patient leaves my office feeling heard.
And the focus truly is on what will get us our best patient outcome.
Third down and 10 out of that timeout, and Gauss rolls to his left. They're going to do a throwback screen, and wide open is the tight end, Bodie Leo. He has first down yardage, 35-30. Well-executed play, and now a flag flies, and maybe that's a block in the back that'll push them behind the chains. Be close, Ward. It'll either be still a first down or they'll replay third down, and it'll be
on the Mustangs.
Very short.
That's important. And again, that was a well-run screen. You like to see, even if it's against you, but they did a nice job there, rolling left and throwing
back. You better get
your
arm loose. Got some T-shirts at the end of the first quarter.
That's right. They got a box.
T-shirt, Renda Media T-shirt toss. So they're going to
block in the back of the
Mustangs
is a 10-yard penalty from
Jerry, the gain.
But they got a first down out of it. That was a well drawn up play, and they executed it well. So the Wildcats D going to have to start all over again.
12-yard gain officially on that pass. Well-designed play by the Mustangs. And the Wildcats had nobody home.
No, it was wide open. Bodie Leo gets going. He's like a locomotive.
It's Noah Walensky. Walensky finds some running room around the right end.
His direct snap in that play.
In the first quarter, let's see if they maybe he's out of bounds. 8-yard gain to
gain of 9 will bring up a second
25-yard line. River Valley trying to answer right back. They're already deep in Colts territory. Second down and about a yard to go. Very tight formation with an H-back to the left. Direct snap to Noah Walensky. Flag flies. And we could have a hold on the Mustangs. He does have enough for a first down to the 21-yard line. It's face mask on Homer Center. So they grabbed it.
A penalty on the play.
So they're going to...
That doesn't help, does it?
To not if you're a Homer Center fan. For Portage, they like it. I want to welcome all of our viewers in the Portage area. Personal foul penalty will be half the distance to about the 10.5-yard line.
From that spot of the field, it will be half the distance to the goal.
Yeah, fair turnout from the Portage faithful over there.
Big renovation. They hadn't started it when we were there last year, but they built a big field house that served football and the baseball team, and that has been completed, and so has the first quarter, brought to you by friends of Jim Struzzi. Portage going to be faced with a first and 10 at the Wildcat 11-yard line when we return on the IRMC Renda Media Football Network.
The Twin Cities Event Hall is the perfect place to host your next special occasion. The event hall is located on the grounds of the Grayston Coral Sportsman's Club, featuring an air-conditioned banquet room that comfortably seats 200, a beverage bar, a stage, refurbished hardwood dance floor, and a new kitchen that is caterer-friendly. The event hall has added a new outdoor stage, too, that's perfect for weddings, anniversary parties, or any special occasion. The Twin Cities Event Hall is now accepting bookings into 2025. Find them on Facebook or call 724-541-3683.
I'm Senator Joe Pittman. From Indiana to Westmoreland and Jefferson to Armstrong counties, I'm dedicated to supporting every student in the 41st District. As Senate Majority Leader, I'm committed to ensuring our kids have the opportunities they deserve, whether it's excelling in athletics or engaging in extracurricular activities or achieving academic excellence. Together, we're building a strong foundation for our children's future. I appreciate your support and encourage you to vote, whether by mail or in person, on
Back with you. It's first and 10. We'll call it from the 11 because they can get a first down. We'll give you our first Commonwealth quick stats as soon as we can from that first quarter. Noah Walensky, sidecar to the right. Quarterback Owen Gauss. Tight end left is Bodie Leo. They go the old wishbone formation, and Noah Walensky trying to get to the left corner to the 5, and he's going to be forced out of bounds, but inside the 2-yard line. Give you the first half stats very quickly, or first quarter stats. Portage, 10 carries, only 13 yards. Wildcats, worse, 4 carries, -5. Passing, Homer Center 2 of 5 for 9 yards. Portage 2 of 3 for 46 yards. 13 offensive plays for 59 yards. For Portage, 9 plays, 4 yards for Homer Center. 2nd down and a yard from the 2. They give it to Walensky up the middle into the end zone. He goes for a Portage Mustang touchdown. 12 seconds into this second quarter as the Mustangs drive 71 yards and they lead 6-0.
Yeah, again, it's a familiar story. Homer was doing well defensively, gave up one big play, and that just seemed to swing momentum toward Portage. A couple penalties thrown in there, but really the Mustangs got their game together and took it down. They're going to try the point from placement.
Gavin Babolski, the holder. Easton Slonick only 3 of 8. Kicking right-footed soccer-style kicker. Long snappers Owen Gauss, plenty of leg, and the kick is good, so he's now 4 of 9. 12 seconds into the quarter, it's now Portage 7 and the Homer Center Wildcats nothing. We'll have a Mustangs kickoff when we come back on a senior night at Memorial Field on the IRMC Renda Media Football Network.
Bad hair day? Bad day at the office? Bad day behind the wheel? Hey, stuff happens, even to the best of us. At least your car insurance rate doesn't have to take a hit. Get Erie Rate Lock from Erie Insurance. Gives you a great rate that stays put until you change a car, driver, or your address. Plus, seriously good service. Now that's something to smile about.
Your local Erie agent is William G. Meckling Insurance Agency. Get a quote at 724-465-4261 or visit mecklinginsurance.com.
Erie Rate Lock does not guarantee continued insurance coverage and is not available in all states.
At Grand Beginnings Children's Center, their focus is on growing and teaching children to be the best they can be. They know children need education, inclusion, and safety. Grand Beginnings has a mission to provide a warm and nurturing environment in which each child can grow physically, emotionally, socially, intellectually, and spiritually. Grand Beginnings Children's Center with 2 locations in Indiana, teaching children to shine since 1991. Call 724-463-1819. Find them at grandbeginnings.net.
Drive summary for the Mustangs. 10 plays, 71 yards, took 3 minutes, 23 seconds. 1 for 1 on 3rd down. That was that throwback screen that went for 24 yards to Brendan Smithrow. They picked up 3 first downs along the way. Bodie Leo to kick off for the Mustangs. Approaches the football, and it's just a squibber along the ground. They pick it up, and finally it's Brady Fraser through an opening, and Brady to the 35 to the 36-yard line once he corralled that football. Brady with good wills, and the Wildcats will start at their own 36 on the kick coverage, making that tackle again. Easton Slonick. Kid's a football player, isn't he?
I think so.
I think they talk a little football in the Slonick household.
I would imagine so, yeah. Just a tad.
So the Wildcats with 11:42 left in the half.
If Homer's going to stay in the football game, they're going to have to establish something offensively. Just have not done that. They've had some excellent opportunities.
Yep, negative yardage so far.
And can't seem to get anything going.
Carson Arone. Read option has running room to the 40 to the 45 and a first down. He's dragged down at the 46 or 47-yard line. Tony Lawrence on the tackle for the Mustangs. Lawrence, by the way, he's a 5'10", 155-pound senior, and he went into boot camp last summer, and he'll be going into the Army upon graduation. Young Anthony Lawrence, thank you for your service already. We do appreciate it and admire you, young man.
He's got his future intact right now. He knows what he wants to do.
From the 46, shotgun snap and a flag. No flag. Maybe, yeah, there is a flag. I thought maybe it was a timeout.
Somebody must have flinched. Yep.
False start on the Wildcats. It's a 5-yard penalty. It brings up 1st and 15.
5-yard penalty on the Wildcats.
I always called those drive killers. They're only 5 yards, but all the momentum just seems to drift away after you get one.
Northern Cambria punting from deep in their own end zone. So River Valley's going to have great field position. Play action. And throwing intercepted by guess who? Solonic. It's going to be a pick six down the left sideline for a touchdown, covering about 40 yards as he stepped right in front of that pass, and it's 13-0 Portage. Easton Solonic is a football player, is he not?
Yeah, he's doing it tonight, making all the calls back here, so it seems.
We'll look at our Dowds of Plumville replay. Line of scrimmage, the 41.
There was a blitz. The end got in on Carson, and he just unloaded it.
42 yards officially on that pick six. And Slonick will be the kicker, trying to add on to his own touchdown. And the snap is put down, and the kick is partially blocked, and no good. But the teams come upfield. Pick six, we had one last week at Cambria Heights. We have one tonight, too, going against Homer Center, and the Mustangs jump out in front 13-0. 10:51 left in the half on the IRMC Run to Media Football Network.
Robindale and its affiliated companies are proud to be a sponsor of all student athletes in the area. For nearly 2 decades, Robindale has been cleaning up refuse coal piles that dot and scar the western Pennsylvania landscape. To reclimate and beautify these areas, Robindale believes deeply in safety, compliance, and community responsibility. If you would like to become a part of the Robindale team, you can contact them at 814-446-6700, extension 122, or see how Robindale can assist your business at robindale.com.
Save up to $12,000 on a new F-150 at Luther Ford. At Luther Ford, buy a new 2024 F-150 4x4 XLT Super Crew full hybrid and save up to $12,000. Or buy a new 2024 Ford F-150 Super Duty 4x4 XLT Super Crew and save up to $8,000. Wow! And everyone qualifies. Luther Ford with 2 locations and twice the inventory. The savings are huge. Luther Ford, Route 119, Homer City, and Admiral Perry Highway, Evansburg.
Yard pick six, and it's 13-0. And Bodie Leo again, squib kick hits an up man, and the Wildcats do cover it at their own 49-yard line, so they will have outstanding field position as covering that football was Josh Faluchik. His dad was one of the servers yesterday at the Grayston Coral Sportsman's Club. Ward, we had a comment from a viewer in Cary, North Carolina. And that's where the Division II World Series was at that IUP participated in. A Mustang fan watching and rooting for number 3. And he has to like what he sees
He's been
from
doing
number
the
3.
job, has he?
Easton Splonick. Also go Wildcats, Jessica Johnston checking in with us tonight. We have a Q&A word from some fans too that we'll have to get to. They're going to quiz you. Here's Aron, right side, and a short gain into Mustang territory. And on the far side of the field, see, it might be Gavin Bobolski and Tony Lawrence on that tackle for the Mustangs. Wildcats have been able to do absolutely nothing offensively.
Yeah, that a short gain. At least it's a positive gain. Here's where you could go with a little quick out, get some yardage.
First time we have a little heater in the booth, Ward.
Yeah,
Windows
I was
closed.
wondering where that little blast of heat was coming from.
Motion man is Drew Fisher. Aron stands tall in the pocket. Throwing Duke has Riley Koba. Bobbles it, takes it in at the 20, 10. Breaks a jersey tackle, 5, and a touchdown. His 4th of the season for Riley Koba. Sensational for the 5'8", 156-pound junior, and it's 13-6. 48-yard touchdown pass for Carson Aron.
Nice job by Koba. He caught it, bobbled it a little on the initial.
Get a replay here. Motion man Fisher standing tall, good protection. Pass coming near sideline. He hauled it in at the 28, bobbled it, maintained possession, controlled it, then broke a jersey tackle at the 9 and took it to the house. Brady Frazier to attempt the extra point, and the kick is up. The kick is into D. Ober's front porch. That's how strong it was. With 9:59 to play in the first half, just like that, back comes Homer Center to their credit. It's Portage 13 and the Wildcats 7 on the IRMC Renda Media Football Network.
I've always been a very hard worker, and I thought that there was something that smart people that work hard could do differently with the money that you've worked so hard to earn. I consulted First Commonwealth Bank. They said, absolutely there is. And then they called us with a program that was directly suited for us. I've been able to enjoy what I've worked a lifetime to create, and I've done all that with the help of First Commonwealth Bank.
Hi, I'm Eric Brocious. Many of you know me as a high school teacher and a coach. What you didn't know, though, is I'm also a businessman, owner of EMB Computing. I'd like to invite you to our new state-of-the-art facility to see our line of computers, laptops, iPads, MacBooks, and accessories. If you're a business owner, we'll assist you with your networks, servers, workstations, printers, and even your business phone systems. We are located at 57 North 11th Street in Indiana, or you can find us on the web at embcomputing.com. We are your technology specialists.
Frazier has it teed up and approaches the ball. Good end-over-end kick, and it backs up the Portage Mustangs to the 5-yard line. And Noah Walensky out over the 20, and he's going to be tackled at about the 23 as the flag flies. And we'll see what this penalty is all about. Hayden Benst on the tackle, and it's going to be face mask again on Homer Center. Luther Ford drive summary, 2 plays, 51 yards. It took 101. Hell, the gang's all here, as I like to say. Our digital producer, John Smathers, producing tonight's game on Renda Digital TV. Our cameraman upstairs is Ted Maseko. Spotter, Dennis Mester. Our world-renowned now, Jerry Rossai. And our executive producer, Michael Burdick. Michael started with us in 2002, and Danielle Pisarczyk, 2006. They are 2 all-stars behind the scenes.
Absolutely, they make it work.
Next week will be Board Op Appreciation Night. Going to bring in 2 hot dogs for them to share. Gauss throwing and incomplete. That just falls harmlessly. And Eli Butterly, one of the seniors recognized, was applying some pressure. Just want to mention those seniors that were honored couldn't pick up the ceremony with a jam-packed ITT pregame show, but Eli Butterly, Colin Doherty, Braden Dunn, Dan and Will Jones, Ocean Maritita, Brayton Lookhart, Brian Mills, Josh and Sean Voluchik, and Zach Wilson. About half of those guys, 5 of the 11, were playing tonight.
That's a shame. And noticed Gauss kind of shot puts the ball. He doesn't have a real smooth throwing motion. That time, good pressure by the Wildcat defense forced a bad pass.
Yeah, and he's forced in there as a quarterback. Walensky has it around the left end to the 40, 45, 50, left sideline, Wildcat territory, and chunk yardage there for the Mustangs. From the 38, we'll see where they mark him out of bounds. It appears to be at about the 42-yard line, which will be a 20-yard gain. Brady Frazier on the tackle. We're looking at the Dolls of Plumville replay. And yep, Brady.
First and 10. Just a direct snap. Yeah, direct snap, and student body left, and he made the most of it. Nice run.
Taking the direct snap again is Walensky. The Wildcats defend this much better right near the line of scrimmage. Keep in mind, his brother,
Josh Voluchik,
Isaac Walensky, their top back, who had 190 yards, 191 to be exact, and 2 touchdowns, including a 62-yard touchdown run last year against Homer Center. Not feeling well before the game and is not dressed. Gain of a yard to the 42-yard line. Direct snap to Noah Walensky again, and knifing in, and the Wildcats are going to tackle him for a loss. Not sure hit him. I think it was Riley Cobaugh who came submarining in as if he was one of the grubs that affected this field, and came out of the turf and upended him.
Just an analogy there. That'll be the nickname, Grub.
Grub Cobaugh. I'll see if it sticks. Remember, I had many years ago, Mike O'Hara, I tabbed him the Beaver, and that stuck. So we'll call Riley Grub Cobaugh, who had that touchdown pass.
If you remember Mole Cephas, a great receiver here at Homer Center, that's how he got his nickname, because he always got lower than the guy who was playing opposite him.
3rd down and 11, and Gauss on an inside handoff to Bodie Leo trying to get to the corner, runs through a tackle of her own, 35-30, first down yardage. Wildcats should have had him stopped for a loss, but they didn't, and it's a first down for Portage inside the 30. Let's see where they put it down, trying to get the spot. We get a replay, Ward, if you can describe for the listeners and viewers as what happened here.
Just a little reverse. Well, you watch here. Arone has him. He's trying to grab his arm instead of trying to go to the body, and that just lets him turn. Look at all the black jerseys. They had that defended. They just didn't come up, and that's been a problem all year. They've had people in the vicinity, but they can't seem to make a play. And another gain, got to give Leo credit.
He's a big boy, too, Bodie Leo, to the 28-yard line. Now Gauss to throw. Gauss going to tuck it and keep it. And now he's going to stop and throw, but his pass is deflected. That was either deflected by Frazier or Voluchik. And it'll be 2nd down and 10. Bodie Leo, 6'4", 215.
2nd down and 10.
Oh, they left that receiver wide open on the end zone there.
That was Frazier that did, fortunately for Homer Center, deflect that pass.
Yeah, he was looking deep, and that was the reason he pulled up.
Jerry, that Bodie Leo run, was it about 14? 16. Our statistician, Jerry Rossine, First Commonwealth Bank will be treating him to filet mignon, I'm told, at halftime.
It'll be cold.
2nd down, and a timeout going to be called. And a timeout called by Portage. Timeouts all night long brought to you by Luxembourg Jewelers. By the way, Northern Cambria leading River Valley 20-2 in the second quarter. 7:56 left in the first half here. 13-7 Mustangs on the IRMC Renda Media Football Network.
To be a champion, you need to have teamwork, great skills, good conditioning, and above all, you need to stay healthy. But if injury occurs, you need a team of specialists that can get you back in the game. Indiana Total Therapy has been helping area athletes for years. Indiana Total Therapy, with 3 locations, IRMC at Chestnut Ridge in Blairsville, Shelley Drive in Indiana, and at the Human Motion Institute on the campus of IRMC. ITT, the best in our field, and voted Best Physical Therapy in the Best of Indiana County contest.
Back with you at Memorial Field. Portage, a timeout. Ward, we had 3 questions come in, Q&A for you.
For me?
Yep. I'll get the first one here pulled up after this play. We'll try to get to him as the game goes on. 2nd down. Gauss boots to his left. Voluchik giving chase, throws, has a receiver wide open. First down yardage at the 20. It's Babolski, tackled by Homer Center's Sean Voluchik.
On the reception.
And going to be good for a first down from the 28-yard line down to about the 16, a 12-yard pass play.
Give him credit there. He came back to the ball very well, and Gauss just threw it out there.
First and 10 from the Wildcats' 16-yard line. Tight formation, direct snap to Noah Walensky. He bounces it outside and has positive yardage inside the 15. Word question came in from Tony Smith. Ward Hilliard's been watching football for a long time. You've been honoring the 1974 team. Is that the best team that Ward Hilliard ever saw at Homer Center? all the way from Gables, Florida.
To be honest.
We go. Direct snap. We'll get back to it. And let's see who has that football for the Mustangs. It's Noah Walensky again.
Walensky again on the carry, brought down by number 65, Gabe Ruffner.
Gabe Ruffner on the tackle. Word quickly, your answer to that first question.
Well, there's two. There was 62 team with Steve Wassey. They only gave up 7 points the entire year. And then the 68 team went 9-0, beat Bishop Guilfoyle in Altoona. That was a terrific team. Gene Raymond was on that team.
And Gene Raymond still an assistant coach here at Homer Center. Football is at the 9-yard line. 3rd down and 3. Direct snap. Walensky again just lowers the shoulder and trying to power for that lead chain. I think he's going to be a little bit short.
He is.
Play Kobaugh.
Riley Kobaugh.
And Wilson in on the stop.
Zach Wilson being credited with that tackle.
It's almost like a single wing that they're running, the old single wing plays. There's 3 people in the backfield.
See what they do here on 4th and short. Direct snap, and it's Walensky. Walensky dragged down, and I don't think he made it. As a good defensive play by Homer Center's Eli Butterly and Riley Kobaugh. We'll see if we get a replay on the... Yep, here we go. On our replay monitor brought to you by Dowds of Plumville. Yeah, Eli hit him first, and then Riley Kobaugh came in and finished him off. Grub got him again, Grub Kobaugh.
Grub Kobaugh. He's going to love you for that, buddy.
Wildcats take over
his stepmom works as our business manager, so I can blame you.
Yeah, she'll hear about it, I'm sure. Big stop. I don't think we've seen that all year. Homer coming up with a big stop on a 4th down play. So
direct snap, Carson Arone, read option. Carson picking his way for yardage, and good yardage out over the 20-yard line, and it'll be good for 11 or 12 yards on the tackle for the Portage Mustangs. It was Brendan Smithrow. Defensively,
Arone on the carry.
Outside linebacker, senior 6'1", 190.
Nice pickup that time.
Brendan Smith.
Get a little breathing room now. I'd like to see Volucci get a couple carries. The kid's a good runner, although these plays have been working for him.
Good positive gain of about 11, and this time not so positive for Carson Arone. He's going to lose yardage back inside the 20-yard line.
That might have been the time for the play fake. Portage coming hard that time. Nowhere to go.
Loss of a couple.
It's a tough team to run against, the Mustangs.
Back to the 19-yard line. Northern Cambria just blowing out River Valley right now in the second quarter. It's 27-2.
Wow.
2nd down and 12 to go. That's a huge game for playoff points.
Yes, it is.
Both sides. The Wildcats set up a screen into the hands of Deegan Fedoric, but unfortunately Deegan is into the hands of Logan Grove, senior 6', 235-pounder defensive tackle who made a nice play staying home. It looked like for a moment, Ward, it wasn't set up too badly, but it didn't work out.
I missed one block. That's what blows it up. Somebody gets in the middle there, and that's exactly what I think happened. Good job by Portage. Played it well.
3rd down, 8 to go. The Wildcats deploy Colin Doherty to the left boundary, wide side of the field toward the Wildcat bench. 4.5 minutes to play, and we have a timeout going to be called by the Homer Center Wildcats. Brought to you by Luxembourg's Jewelers, Indiana's Jewelers since 1916. 13-7 Portage over Homer Center on the IRMC Renda Media Football Network.
Mustang.
Hi, my name is Zachary, and this is the bus that I take to school every day. It's a Smith bus. We have a really fun bus driver, and guess what? Smith Bus Company is hiring new bus drivers.
That's right. Smith Bus Company is hiring positions for full and part-time drivers and driver's assistants. They provide transportation for 6 area school districts, and they're proud of the work they do. Apply now at smithbusco.com, equal opportunity employer.
Homer City American Legion Post 493, a longtime backer of Homer Center Athletics, is pleased to be a part of today's broadcast and wishes the best of luck to the Homer Center Wildcats this season. Homer City American Legion Post 493 has served Homer City and our veterans for more than half a century. They are a staple of the community and believe in giving back. So have fun today, teams. Represent your communities well. From your friends at the Homer City American Legion Post 493.
Homer Center trailing Portage. They come out of their own timeout with a 3rd down and 8. Twin receivers to the wide side. Slot receiver Riley Cobaugh. And Arone going to pass underneath to Deegan Fedoruk. Well done to the 30-yard line, but he slips down and a flag, 2 flags flying, and maybe going to be a face mask perhaps on the Mustangs. Noah Walensky on the tackle. We'll see if we can get a Dowds of Plumville replay, and we do in our broadcast booth. Our S&T Bank broadcast booth, People Forward Banking. And yes, indeed, Walensky, that'll be a personal foul variety, I do believe.
Foul, face mask on the Mustangs.
It sure looked like it would merit a
and that will be enough for a Wildcat
personal foul. No, they're going to call it a 5-yarder. Boy, he had a pretty good handful.
Well, the fact that he slipped, I think, might have contributed to that.
Still enough for a Wildcat first down at the 35-yard line.
He needed to keep running. You don't stop like that. You just keep running. Use your size and power through that first hit.
So with the penalty to the Homer Center 35-yard line.
Nice play, though. Well designed, well executed.
Yes, it was. Sidecar to the left is Volucic, and Roan's going to keep it. Slipped through one tackle, but a lot of white jerseys pursuing that football, including Logan Grove, and also defensively for the Wildcats, for the Mustangs, I should say, Noah Walensky, sophomore, 5'7", 155-pounder.
Used to see Ben Schmidt run that, and he would have still been running on that play. One of the things Carson's got to learn to do is once you get through that hole is to break to the side. Use your speed and just break out and go.
Timeout situation, both teams with 1 apiece. And Portage will get the football to start the second half. Homer Center needs a timeout, and Greg Page is furious that his team was not aligned properly. You could see out of the huddle they were not where they were supposed to be. 3:25, where we're supposed to be on a Friday night at Memorial Field at the corner of Lincoln and Harrison Streets in the borough of Homer City. It's 13-7 Mustangs on the IRMC Renda Media Football Network.
Renda Digital TV is Indiana County's leading live stream service. Our team of dedicated producers and on-air personalities work hard to bring you network-level event and sports coverage to your fingertips. And if you can't make it, every live stream is archived, so you never miss a minute. And for you IUP football fans, Renda Digital TV is the exclusive home of Hawk Talk, airing every Monday during the season. Subscribe to Renda Digital TV for free today.
Great food and fun? And you want to go to the hidden dive where all the locals eat? Around these parts, that's Mavericks. Pick your favorites from the jukebox, grab a cold one at the bar, and rack up a round of 8-ball. They've got a new one-page menu that covers it all. Appetizers, burgers, sandwiches, salads, and the best wings. Period. Everything is prepared better than you expect. Minutes from anywhere in Homer City right off 119. Mavericks. Drinks, sports, food. Make us proud, Wildcats. You got
catch for Riley Cobaugh, and we won't have a replay. Well, we are going to get a replay. If you're watching on Renda Digital TV, you'll be able to see what we had just missed thanks to the 40-second timeout that they allotted there. And taking the snap was Carson Arone. Good protection again. Credit that offensive line. And throwing it downfield, and a juggling catch by Riley Grub Cobaugh. And now he's going to take the flip. No, they fake it to him, and Carson Arone's going to wonder maybe why he didn't flip it to Riley, because he's tackled for a loss by Bodie Leo back to the 34-yard line. Clock running, 2:40 to play here in the first half. 13-7 Mustangs. Pretty good size loss there of about 5 yards for Carson Arone.
Great pass on his part. A better catch on the other end by Coball, who is keeping the Wildcats in the ball game here. I'd like to see him go back to that reverse, but I don't think they're in alignment for that. They're confused right now, though.
They move Drew Fisher, tight end right. Trips to the left. They fake out in the flat. Now Carson Arone flushed. He needs to just throw it away, and he's going to take a sack. Now he throws it late, and that's going to be grounding back at midfield. It has to be. Yeah, and there's the flag. He had a chance to unload it earlier outside of that tackle box, Ward, and he didn't. And Carson will learn, I think, from that mistake right there, because he's got a good football IQ, but that was a mental mistake there.
Yeah, big one. You see there's no receivers open, just throw it to the sideline over everybody and live to fight another day. This penalty has set the ball back, my goodness, 45 of Homer Center. They're going to need another co-ball play.
Maybe they can slip them under the turf all the way.
Yeah, let them crawl for the touchdown.
They need, what, the 19-yard line for a first down?
Yeah, it appears that far.
So that's 31 plus 5 is 36, Ward.
He got 2 downs to do it.
3rd down and 36, we'll call it.
Wow.
Shotgun snap. Carson stands tall, throws deep for Voluchik in traffic, and he can't hang on to it. I think he kicked it out of his own hands with his knee. On the coverage was Tony Lawrence, the young man, and now Tony is injured a little bit and going to go down, and the Wildcat trainer, Bob Rupert, is going to attend to him. Let's see if I was right, Ward, as we get a replay. Dowds of Plumville and Greensburg providing our replays.
That ball was there. If he could have just hung on. Hard to do, though, when people are clubbing you. Bang, bang.
It went off of his knee. I think it was slipping through his hands.
Yeah.
So they're attending to Tony Lawrence. A couple more questions, Ward, that came into us. Who's the best power back that you ever saw in Indiana County football history? Comes from James Jones of Salzburg.
That was probably Frank Harsh, the baby bull from Blairsville. I mean, Homer's had so many great running backs. Frank Harsh just jumped out at me, though. He was the baby bull, and he ran like it.
Tony Lawrence off the field under his own power as he limps toward the Portage sideline, and the Wildcats' Brady Fraser on to punt the football away. 1:58 remaining in the first half. It's 13-7 Portage. And that big game at Northern Cambria, it's 28-2 Northern Cambria over River Valley. They had a punt block too, right, Don? That was it a recovery in the end zone? And now River Valley just threw an interception. And things not going well for the Panthers. Good snap. Fraser's punt, speaking of block punts, that was nearly blocked, but it ends up being a dandy into the lights and fumbled and recovered by Gavin Bobolski with 1:49 left.
And who was right in front of him? The grub was right in front of him there. If that ball would have kicked away, he'd have had him.
Did we add is a media timeout? So we'll keep it here because we have to tell you about IRMC at Chestnut Ridge. A lot can happen to kids after hours and not just on the gridiron. Babies get fevers, children step on glass, athletes twist their ankles. If your child or teen needs care and your doctor's office is closed, IRMC at Chestnut Ridge is open 7 days a week from 8 till 8 since 2009. IRMC at Chestnut Ridge, Old Route 22 in Blairsville. Ward, our third and final question. Our good friend Sophie Gorski out in Arizona.
The dear lady.
She said, Mark, please tell Ward hello. Is this the game where you always play that famous song?
No. We don't need
Michael,
to
I
go
think
there.
it is, Michael.
We don't need to go there.
I think we have it
that song has died its death, and it should be buried.
I don't think.
Look at that moon up there. That's a super moon.
Hello,
man.
I'm Mr.
I apologize.
A horse is a horse, of course, and no one can talk to a horse, of course. That is, of course, unless the horse is the famous Mr. Ward. Go right to the source and ask the horse. He'll give you the answer about football, of course. He's always on a steady course. Talk to Mr. Ward. People yakety yak the streak and waste your time of day. But Mr. Ward will never speak on a Wildcat game.
Going to run it out of bounds, short gain, and bring it back up, Michael.
That's all right.
We'll talk to his voice's horse. And you say you never heard of a talking horse? Well, listen to this. I am Mr. Ward.
I'm sure Sophie is listening and watching out in Phoenix, and there you have it, Sophie.
Bless your heart, Sophie.
That's a big hit from many years ago.
Oh, geez, I got hooked into that. I never will forget that.
2015.
2015 that song debuted, and it's still among the favorites.
Yeah, it's top 10 on the charts. Right.
Drew Fisher on that last tackle, 2nd down and 6. And the give up the middle and big running room. Another chunk play for the Portage Mustangs out over the 40 to about the 42-yard line. We'll see where they're going to put it down at the 41.
Walensky on the carry.
Noah Walensky on the carry for the Mustangs. Tackled by Drew Fisher again.
Fisher on the stop.
And now here comes Easton Slonick trying to get around the corner, and guess who got him? Riley. You say it, Ward.
The Grub.
The Grub Coball.
I don't think he's going to like it.
Probably not.
But he come up there. That is how you play safety. You know it's a run. He just shot up there, ran by his own people and made the play. Everybody pay attention.
1 minute left in the first half. Portage at their own 41-yard line. No gain on that play for Slonick. Tight end right for Portage. Brendan Smithrow. Slonick in motion, but Gauss looking to pass. Pressure from Beluchik. Lobs it, intercepted by Brady Frazier at the 47. Going to get to the 40-yard line and be tackled. But an interception
by number
as Owen Gauss is picked for the first time this season since replacing Slonick due to that injury.
Tried to just throw it over top, and Frazier's a pretty tall boy and very athletic. Made a good pick. You got 34 seconds. I don't know if they got maybe but one timeout, so we'll see here.
They have no timeouts.
So they're going to have to try to catch and get out of bounds or do something of that nature.
They put it down at the Portage 41. Halftime at Northern Cambria, 28-2 Colts over the Panthers. Carson Arone, deep drop, fires over the middle with authority to Deegan Fedoruk to the 28-yard line. And the Wildcats, if they hustle up, they can spike the football. And Carson Arone trying to get everybody positioned. Chains aren't set yet. And now they restart the clock. And a timeout going to be called by the Portage Mustangs. Should we play the song again, Ward?
No, that's fine. I think everyone heard that.
We had some complaints in the booth that we had to fade it.
I don't see anybody complaining down there.
Timeout on the field. Final timeout for the Mustangs with 27 ticks left in the first half. It's 13-7 Mustangs over the Wildcats on the IRMC Renda Media Football Network.
At IRMC, we have all of the necessary pieces in place to perform complex operations, including highly skilled and specially trained surgeons, their support team of experts, and advanced technology like the Da Vinci robotic surgical system. As a result, patients spend less time in the hospital, recover faster, and get treated close to home. So there's no reason to puzzle over where you should get your surgical care. The answer is right here at IRMC.
About the AA teams dominating the Class A teams, but not the case at Northern Cambria tonight, although there's still a full half to go in that game. Beluchik is a protector in there for Carson Arone. 1st and 10 at the 27. And Arone to pass. Pocket starts to collapse, and A sack. Bodie Leo to the 40-yard line. Down goes Arone. And that should do it for the first half. I don't think the Wildcats will be able to get off another play.
Receivers got to get back and get set.
They're going to try a loss of 12 on that play, and Carson Arone spikes it with 6.8 seconds left. Cambria Heights,
with 6 seconds remaining.
Of course,
they're having a
tough
time, huh?
West Shamokin tonight, and let's see, 50-0 at halftime. Cambria Heights over West Shamokin. So back-to-back games for the Highlanders where they're really not gaining anything, but you have to play who's on the schedule.
Yeah.
End of the second or halftime. Marion Center 20, Penns Manor nothing.
Oh.
United Valley 27, Purchase Line nothing. And Northern Cambria 28, River Valley 2. Shotgun snap, and Arone, final play of the half, just going to load up and throw for the end zone down the right sideline, and that's going to be picked off right near the goal line and running out with the football up the left sideline. And the Wildcats miss him, and he's at midfield. 40, he's going to take it 98 yards if he gets there. Tony Lawrence, but he's tackled at the 10-yard line. Great effort by Sean Beluchik. It looked like he was going to take that to the house about 98 yards before we kick off our SCG Hobby halftime show. We'll take a look at the replay on our monitor, brought to you by Dowds of Plumville. Wildcats tried pushing him out of bounds, but didn't get the job done. And look at the ground that Beluchik closed.
He made up 10 yards.
I think it was now that he made the tackle, I can say that it was his brother that thought he was pushing him out of bounds. That was Josh Beluchik, and I'm sure Sean will kid him that, hey, I bailed you out on that one, bro.
He sure did.
Or that would have been quite the ending to the first half, and what a momentum switch that would have been for the Mustangs. But he is tackled at the 10-yard line, but an outstanding return. Comes up a little bit short. Coming up next, our SCG Hobby Halftime Report. We will have segment number 9 with former coach Ron Coleman, our Wildcat flashback feature, as we have been honoring the 1974 team. On this night, October 18th of 1974, they played the Blairsville Bobcats. That'll be coming up as part of our halftime show. But first, we go to break with the score. Portage 13 and the Homer Center Wildcats 7 on the IRMC Renda Media Football Network.
Grayston Coral Sportsman's Club continues to soar, and the club is proud to offer newly remodeled facilities for its many members. Voted best social and sportsman's club in Indiana County, the club features a large 3-acre fishing pond that is well stocked and offers a shooting range that is open year-round. The club takes pride in hosting kid-friendly events and the annual fireworks display for the 4th of July. Inside, club members can enjoy a newly remodeled bar area, the perfect place to unwind and watch your favorite team. The Grayston Coral Sportsman's Club. Go!
Let's go!
Almost as high as the closing fees on those mortgages we sold last month.
And we keep getting higher.
I know. Our closing costs are making us a fortune right now.
They sure are, but I meant we are getting higher towards the moon.
Hey, and the best thing is our customers can't find us up here.
Tired of closing costs and hidden fees going to the moon? Are you fed up with online mortgage companies treating you like an astronaut who doesn't have problems with things going higher and higher? Refinancing or purchasing a new home? InFirst Bank is here for you. They've been the trusted local mortgage lender for over 100 years. They won't surprise you with increased closing costs or hidden fees, only personalized service. They'll work with you every step of the way to get you into the home of your dreams. InFirst Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
InFirst Bank, here for you since 1922.
Hi?
We're looking for insurance.
Oh, let's see who's free.
When insurance agents work for only one company, their options are simply limited. But a Trusted Choice independent agent is free to shop many companies for a better deal. Free to do what's right for you.
More choices and more savings at Walbeck Insurance. 479-9378. 479-9378.
So what sets S&T apart from other financial institutions is that they are visionary. Now, we understand that it is partially about the numbers, but they know it's not just about the numbers. It's about the management team, it's about the strategic and business plan, it's about how the team is going to execute on that. In short, S&T gets it. Quite honestly, we couldn't have done it without S&T.
As well. 13-7 our score at the half. We had a scoreless first quarter and then 3 touchdowns in the second quarter that included a pick 6 for Portage that set them off to a 2-touchdown lead, but the Wildcats came back and made things interesting at the end of the half. And we have a tight ball game, 13-7 between the 3 and 5 Mustangs, who can clinch a playoff berth with a win tonight, and Homer Center Wildcats, they can make a case and get back into the playoff race if they can come back in the second half. We will have radio replays and a look at stats as part of our SCG Hobby halftime show, but coming up on the other side of the break, our weekly Wildcat Flashback brought to you by Mavericks. You know, that's Ted Maseko, our cameraman's account word upstairs, listening to the broadcast.
Really?
He texted me. He said he really liked the Mr. Ward song. Wanted to know if we could maybe bring it back.
No, that's quite all right, Ted. I'm sorry.
He's wondering if they can get that on the jukebox at Mavericks.
Yeah,
Boy, wouldn't that be something?
That would be something, yeah.
13-7 Mustangs over the Wildcats on the IRMC Renda Media Football Network.
Don't miss the Dowd 74th anniversary sale. Whether you want to furnish one room or your entire home, you'll save big. Right now, buy one item at Dowd's special sale price and get a second item of equal or lesser value at half off. That's right, every other item at half off. Plus, get 1 year free financing. The Dowd 74th anniversary sale. Drive a little, save a lot. Dowd's of Plumville and Greensburg.
Doesn't your home deserve Dowds?
Dan in a van hasn't returned your call? Chuck in a truck can't get there for 2 months? Stop dealing with fly-by-nighters and call a company that's fully capable for all your plumbing and heating needs. Joyce Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Incorporated. Joyce Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Incorporated is on call 24/7, 365 days a year. Visit us at joyceplumbing.com. That's joyceplumbing.com. Joyce Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Incorporated, the best place in town to take a leak. PA 042115.
I'm Senator Joe Pittman. From Indiana to Westmoreland and Jefferson to Armstrong counties, I'm dedicated to supporting every student in the 41st District. As Senate Majority Leader, I'm committed to ensuring our kids have the opportunities they deserve, whether it's excelling in athletics or engaging in extracurricular activities or achieving academic excellence. Together, we're building a strong foundation for our children's future. I appreciate your support and encourage you to vote, whether by mail or in person on election.
Hi, everybody. Mark Burdig, and we welcome you back on our SCG Hobby halftime show. And it's time for our Wildcat Flashback feature as we are winding down quickly this 2024 season. Brought to you by Mavericks, food, fun, and football at Mavericks, Greenville Road in Homer City. And all season long, we've been taking you back in time 50 years, remembering the great 1974 team coached by Ron Coleman. And Coach is joining us again. Coach, on this date, October 18th of 1974, rival game. You dominated Blairsville 16-0. You held them to 15 yards. I don't know if you remember this, but 12 sacks of quarterback Jeff Cavalancia.
I remember that quite well. That obviously was the big key to our victory. We knew they had a good football club. Between Ralph David and Cav, they were pretty much loaded on offense, and obviously our goal was to stop them. Never in my wildest dreams did I think we were going to do quite that well, however.
Did you jar the doctor's teeth on that night?
We did everything that night.
So, you know, that's one of the great rivalries. Unfortunately, it's kind of gone by the wayside now with the merger of Salzburg and Blairsville.
Yeah, things have changed quite a bit. And that was the rivalry we look forward to every year.
Well, this is our next to last segment. We'll do this one final time next season when Homer Center closes out the season at Conemaugh Township. But you would go on to finish 9-1, shutting out Northern Cambria 32-0 on November 1st. You lost to Ligonier Valley in the season finale 7-2, shattering the dream of an undefeated season. You outgained them, but they had a pretty special player on a muddy night. You were missing a couple guys. Barry Roddy, 40 times he carried for 175 yards. They only had 193, so he was the difference.
Oh, he absolutely was the difference. In all my years, I don't think I ever saw a performance quite like that. I was so impressed that after the game, I went over to the locker room to congratulate not only our coach, of course, but also Barry himself. He did a heck of a job against us. Mostly what I was impressed with was the fact that every time we had him in our sights and pinned in, he'd managed to avoid a loss. It wasn't so much what he was gaining. It was so much that we didn't get any real shots at him to get the minus yardage that we needed.
Well, is that a game that still haunts you to a certain degree?
Absolutely. I tell people that all the time. It was the most crushing defeat I had, and obviously it ended the undefeated season, and at the same time it was the last game. So it was pretty devastating.
50 years ago, we still remember the great 1974 team. Coach, we're going to do one more of these. You up for it for next weekend?
Oh, sure.
Former coach Ron Coleman, our Wildcat flashback feature chronicling the great 1974 team 50 years ago, powered by our friends at Mavericks, Greenville Road in Homer City. And our SCG Hobby halftime show from Memorial Field in Homer City will continue right after this timeout on the IRMC Renda Media Football Network.
Don't miss the Dowd 74th anniversary sale. Whether you want to furnish one room or your entire home, you'll save big. Right now, buy one item at Dowd's special sale price and get a second item of equal or lesser value at half off. That's right, every other item at half off. Plus, get 1 year free financing. The Dowd 74th anniversary sale. Drive a little, save a lot. Dowd's of Plumville and Greensburg.
Doesn't your home deserve Dowds?
SCG Hobby. It's in the name. Sports cards, comics, gaming, and more. Speaking of more, they also have a huge selection of Legos, board games, Dungeons & Dragons, and Warhammer. Whatever you fancy, they've got you covered. Come join the SCG family for fun events and tournaments nightly, including Magic, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, and more. Dive into a world of sports and fantasy at the SCG Hobby nearest you, with locations in Indiana, Latrobe, Altoona, and North Huntington. Find out more by logging into scghobby.com.
When it comes to screen printing and promotional items, nobody does it better than S&S Screen Printing of Indiana. Stop in and check out how S&S Screen Printing can help your business, school, or booster club grow with a full line of apparel and promotional items. Or visit them online and see the full lineup at snsscreenprinting.net. snsscreenprinting.net. Yes, snsscreenprinting.net. S&S Screen Printing, 1200 School Street in Indiana. At S&S Screen Printing, they do it right here.
Memorial Field, our SCG Hobby halftime show. Let's recap the first half for you. We had a scoreless first quarter. We didn't really have a first down until the final minute of the first quarter when Portage started to drive after a Homer Center 3 and out at their own 29-yard line. Got a 24-yard pass play from Brendan Smithrow from Owen Gauss that took the football to the Homer Center 46-yard line, and then a 12-yard pass and a penalty for a face mask on Homer Center. And the first quarter ended with Portage at the Homer Center 11. They gained 9 yards on first down, and they were faced with a second down and 1 at the Homer Center 2-yard line early in that second frame. They give it to Walensky up the middle into the end zone. He goes for a Portage Mustang touchdown. 12 seconds into this second quarter as the Mustangs drive 71 yards and they lead 6-0. Easton Slonick, who had a great first half, added the extra point, capping off the 10-play, 71-yard drive that took 3 minutes and 23 seconds. Homer Center started at their own 36-yard line, and disaster struck for the Wildcats, and it was Solonic again making a big play. Play action, and throwing intercepted by guess who, Solonic. It's going to be a pick six down the left sideline for a touchdown, covering about 40 yards as he stepped right in front of that pass, and it's 13-0 Portage. Easton Slonick is a football player, is he not? He sure has played well in the first half. The point after was blocked by Homer Center, but 2 touchdowns in less than a minute, and Portage was out and running 13-0. But the Wildcats, to their credit, came back with a nice 51-yard drive after a line drive kick hit an up man in Homer Center's return team, and it was covered at the 49-yard line. The Wildcats gained 3 yards on first down. They were in Portage territory at the 48-yard line, faced with a 2nd and 7. Arone stands tall in the pocket, throwing through Pasrali Koba, bobbles it, takes it in at the 20, 10, breaks a jersey tackle, 5, and a touchdown. His 4th of the season for Riley Koba. Sensational for the 5'8", 156-pound junior, and it's 13-6. 48-yard touchdown pass for Carson Arone. Frazier's extra point was good at the 9:59 mark. Wow, we had 3 touchdowns in a span of 2 minutes and 1 second to start that second quarter. But both teams had threatened, but Homer Center stopped Portage at the 9-yard line, and that was big. And then an interception late in the first half was returned about 90 yards, but touchdown saving tackle by Homer Center's Sean Valuchik stopped the Portage at the 10-yard line, and that's where the first half ended. Ward will check the first half stats when our SCG Hobby halftime show continues with the score: Portage 13, Homer Center 7 on the IRMC Renda Media Football Network.
Don't miss the Dowd 74th anniversary sale. Whether you want to furnish one room or your entire home, you'll save big. Right now, buy one item at Dowd's special sale price and get a second item of equal or lesser value at half off. That's right, every other item at half off. Plus, get 1 year free financing. The Dowd 74th anniversary sale. Drive a little, save a lot. Dowd's of Plumville and Greensburg.
Doesn't your home deserve Dowds?
We're the lifeblood of the community.
It's so much more than just a job.
So good patient care is providing top quality care, but also in a timely fashion.
They don't need to go to Pittsburgh for that. They can stay right here in their backyard.
So when a patient walks into your office, you receive them as your family member.
A patient leaves my office feeling heard.
And the focus truly is on what will get us our best patient outcome.
Twin Cities Event Hall is the perfect place to host your next special occasion. The event hall is located on the grounds of the Grayston Coral Sportsman's Club, featuring an air-conditioned banquet room that comfortably seats 200, a beverage bar, a stage, refurbished hardwood dance floor, and a new kitchen that is caterer-friendly. The event hall has added a new outdoor stage, too, that's perfect for weddings, anniversary parties, or any special occasion. The Twin Cities Event Hall is now accepting bookings into 2025. Find them on Facebook or call 724-541-3683.
The scoreboard says Portage 13 and the Homer Center Wildcats 7. Ward, what about those first half stats? Brought to you by First Commonwealth Bank. Time to be first.
They're not too impressive. For Portage, Smithgrove had 2 carries, 6 yards, and a touchdown. Walensky, 16 carries for 58 yards and a touchdown. Gauss had 2 carries for 6 yards and a touchdown. And Slonick, this is odd, 2 carries minus 1 yards and one of the scores. So I think that was the time he got like 0 yards and still pushed in. And
where you see a score
Bodie Leo, well, he has it.
No, I highlighted that just so you could see easy.
Oh.
Yeah, that was the touchdowns.
That wasn't a
circled.
touchdown.
Yep.
Okay, then. My apologies again. And that Leo's had 1 carry, 16 yards, 23 rushes, 85 net yards. Through the air, they were 3 of 7. Gauss was for 58 yards. So they had 85 on the ground, 58 through the air, 143 total for Portage. For Homer Center, Valuchik, 2 carries, no yards. Arone had 10 carries, minus 11. Homer had 12 rushes for minus 11 net yards. Through the air, Arone 7 of 14, 2 interceptions, 107 yards, 1 touchdown, total of minus 11 rushing, 107 passing, 96 net yards for the Wildcats.
Ladies and gentlemen,
and the Grub had
the Grub
right?
kept them in the game, yes.
All right, our SCG Hobby halftime show will continue with a look at the out-of-town scoreboard. It's Portage 13, Homer Center 7 on the scoreboard here at Memorial Field. We'll tell you about the other scores around the area when we return on the IRMC Renda Media Football Network.
Looking for unbeatable savings on TV and internet? Bundle and save with Dish TV and HughesNet satellite internet. Now you can get $5 off each bill and lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Dish TV packages start at just $84.99 a month, and HughesNet plans begin at $59.99 a month. Call SeaWorld Satellites today at 724-463-3200 and start saving. SeaWorld Satellites, your one-stop shop for TV and internet savings.
MarionCenterBank.com. Looking for a bank that's rooted in your community? Looking for a bank that has all the latest options that a hometown bank should have? For personal and business banking, home loans and student loans, and fraud protection that's state-of-the-art, trust Marion Center Bank. With locations servicing Indiana, Armstrong, and Cambria counties. Struggling with student loan applications and decisions? Now is the perfect time to inquire about student loans at Marion Center Bank. MarionCenterBank.com. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Is the score here. Portage with the better of it in the first half over Homer Center. Before we get to the out-of-town scoreboard, heard from Kim Kobaugh from Port Lucie, Florida. Go Wildcats, great job, number 30, from Meemaw and Pap from Port Lucie, Florida. I don't know, Kim, if you like that name Grub or not, but we'll see if it sticks. We've had that happen over the years, but either way, Riley's having himself a heck of a first half. Also from Bob Noco in the state of California. You need to move out of that state, Bob. He caught every Wildcat game this year, 2 live at Memorial Field and others on Renda Media, often from California. I want to thank everybody for delivering the food up here to the press box, too. You know, the band parents have done a great job for many years, and the prices are still great. You know, inflation, all the prices the past 3 or 4 years have gone through the roof. And but Memorial Field concession prices are holding pretty steady, and fans I see down below enjoying some good food and refreshments, and they've done a great job since I was in high school, and that's almost another lifetime ago. Out-of-town scoreboard, halftime, yikes, Cambria Heights 50, West Shamokin nothing. Conemaugh Township shutting out Conemaugh Valley 34-0. United Valley 27, Purchase Line nothing. Marion Center 20 and Penns Manor nothing. Northern Cambria leading River Valley 28-2 in the third quarter, and they're at the River Valley 31-yard line. McKeesport at the half 41, Indiana nothing. Juniata Valley 21, Southern Huntington 6. That score is important in the Class A rankings because Juniata Valley is in the 8th and final spot, just ahead or just behind Portage, so they're trying to improve to 4 and 5 and stay within that playoff race. The prize would be you get to play Bishop Guilfoyle, and then Bellwood in AA leading Bald Eagle 8-6. Bald Eagle is 9th behind Marion Center and United Valley, so that's the score we will try to follow in the second half as well. That's the SCG Hobby halftime show. Stay with us for the start of the second half. Coming up next, with Portage leading 13-7 on the IRMC Renda Media Football Network.
At Grand Beginnings Children's Center, their focus is on growing and teaching children to be the best they can be. They know children need education, inclusion, and safety. Grand Beginnings has a mission to provide a warm and nurturing environment in which each child can grow physically, emotionally, socially, intellectually, and spiritually. Grand Beginnings Children's Center with 2 locations in Indiana, teaching children to shine since 1991. Call 724-463-1819. Find them at grandbeginnings.net.
Ready for your next adventure? With Repine Travel, unforgettable memories are just around the corner. November 10th to 16th, immerse yourself in the excitement of Branson, Missouri. Or get swept up in the holiday magic of New York City, December 8th to 10th. And mark your calendars for October 2025. Set sail on a no-fly Islands in the Bahamas cruise aboard the luxurious Symphony of the Seas. Relax and explore the islands like never before. A big thank you to everyone who voted Repine Travel the best travel agency in the best of Indiana County. Book now with...
What's the most popular 5-passenger SUV in central Pennsylvania? That's an easy one. It's the Mitsubishi Outlander Sport, of course. You see them everywhere. I mean everywhere. And why not? It's by far the greatest value on the market. With more standard features than most, great fuel economy, and the best warranty on the planet, buying a new Outlander Sport's an easy choice above all others. You gotta have one. Get your best Mitsubishi deal today at the Mitsubishi Giant.
5-star Mitsubishi Altoona. It doesn't get better than this.
At IRMC, we have all of the necessary pieces in place to perform complex operations, including highly skilled and specially trained surgeons, their support team of experts, and advanced technology like the Da Vinci robotic surgical system. As a result, patients spend less time in the hospital, recover faster, and get treated close to home. So there's no reason to puzzle over where you should get your surgical care. The answer is right here at IRMC.
All the crew at SeaWorld in more ways than one of our fabulous partners, SeaWorld Satellites of Indiana. Second half kickoff is going to be brought to you by Grand Beginnings Children's Center. We thank them for their support as well, making children shine, teaching children to shine since 1991. Ward, what are you doing on August 22nd of 2025?
Might be attending a football game. I don't know what day that is.
We got the schedule release, so Homer Center will open up at Northern Cambria. Probably a good thing they're not there tonight based on what's happening to River Valley. Northern Cambria putting it to them as Brady Frazier's kick is away. Bounces at the 13, picked up on a couple of hops at the 8-yard line. And coming up the center of the field near the right hash is Noah Walensky.
Walensky on the return, brought down by number 40.
Brought down by Hayden Bentz on the kick coverage team. Northern Cambria has just scored again on the opening drive of the second half. It's now 35-2.
Who would have thought that, huh?
Portage will start at their own 26-yard line.
This first series, I think, is important just to see how well this defense of Homer Center plays. And
Homer Center will scrimmage Conemaugh Township.
They start the season on the 22nd.
Wow. August 16th is the scrimmage. Portage will give you their first game for you Portage fans watching and listening. And the snap from center is bobbled.
Snap is bobbled.
Is that Owen Gauss? Let's see if they snapped it to Owen and. Yeah, they did snap it to Owen. It was just a little bit low, and he loses yardage back to the 22-yard line. Not ideal start for Portage.
No.
The Mustangs will scrimmage Northern Cambria on August 16th and then open up the 2025 season at home against West Shamokin. Wildcats will play all 5 Class A schools in the Heritage Conference, 5 games against 2A opponents, the exception being Conemaugh Township, who they were scrimmaging. Conemaugh Township's going to be really good next year. And we'll give you a couple of other highlights in a moment. Second down and about 15, and Gauss hands it off to Smithrow, trying to get to the edge. Drew Fisher trying to get the angle on him. Can't do it, and tiptoeing up the left sideline. And they're going to mark him out of bounds shy of that lead chain, but over the 30 to about the 33-yard line.
Steps out of bounds.
Once again, people there just unable to make the play. Give Smithrow credit. Got to the edge, turned the Jets on.
Smithrow, 35 rushes for 162 yards, 4.6 average coming in. 3 carries, 16 yards tonight, that being the biggest gain for Smithrow, who's a tight end right. Split a little bit from the line of scrimmage, and they give it up the middle. First down yardage and a little jump cut, and a nice move by Noah Walensky of the Portage Mustangs. Noah.
Go ball on the stop.
That was one of the times the fullback play actually worked for them. They had a little misdirection going there. That was just to draw the defense. It worked.
Younger brother of Isaac, sophomore, 5'7", 155. Isaac not playing tonight due to illness. Is here. 1st and 10, Portage now at the 40-yard line, and Gauss turns around and says something to his fullback who's in a pistol formation, Wilinski, and they give it to Wilinski up the middle and bangs for some yardage, lowers the shoulder and meets 2 or 3 black jerseys led by Homer Center's Gabe Ruffner, who again continues to improve. The Wildcats will travel to Cambria Heights for a second straight year, while the Portage Mustangs, tonight's opponent, will come back to Memorial Field to close out the 2025 season. So a little schedule oddity there for you, Ward Hilliard. By the way, where were you in 1947?
I'd rather not pursue that.
2nd down and 3. Pistol back again, Wilinski, wings both ways, and Homer brings a blitz. And bouncing it near side is Wilinski into Homer Center territory, fumbles the football, but it's recovered behind him by the Portage Mustangs, Ethan Stripmatter. Stripmatter, the left guard, was Johnny on the spot, but it still should be enough for a first down. The reason I mentioned 1947, former Laurel Valley coach and Pennsylvania Hall of Famer Greg Page's late father Jerry grew up and attended Portage. Actually, he played 2 years at the old Portage Township High School, and Homer City defeated Portage Township 20-7 in 1947.
Year before I was born.
So you weren't there?
I wasn't there.
1st and 10 at midfield, ball on the right hash. Smithrow takes the handoff from the right wing, heads far sideline, breaks a tackle, and fights for a couple of yards and leans that football and reaches it toward the 47-yard line for a gain of 3 minutes into this third quarter. Score 13-7 Portage. Big drive for both teams.
Yeah, one of the Wildcats come flying up there and got into the backfield, missed the tackle.
Cody Bell did make it. By the way, Portage Township, I know you were wondering about this, merged with Portage Borough in 1948 when Jerry Page was a junior. So he was a part of the first ever Portage joint high school. They went 4-4-1, as you probably remember, since you were born at that point.
I wasn't. I wasn't.
2nd down and 7. Motion man Smithrow, snap low again, and just jumping on it back in his own territory is the senior quarterback, Owen Gauss.
Well, it's a couple fumbles there. Homer's still unable to come up with it. Kudos to the Portage Mustangs. They're hanging on to that ball.
Third
down here, Mark.
And 11, yeah, absolutely, for both of these teams. Now, Gauss has had a couple of receivers open on that rollout, Ward. He's a southpaw.
Yeah, the secondary's letting guys go and trying to cover the flats, and there's guys wide open. The pressure's been what has caused him to throw incomplete passes.
They hustle to the football. Brock Miko, this junior center, out over the ball, taking the shotgun snap. Gauss throws out left flat, taken by Bobolski, breaks one tackle. The Wildcats force him out of bounds, maybe a yard shy or 2 of the first down. Not sure who that was on the far side of the field. Brady Frazier. They mark it at the 41, so it's going to be 4th down and a yard to go for the Mustangs.
Well, they're definitely going to go for this.
Get a replay here as Doherty hit him initially, and then Frazier.
Well, you see what those short passes can do. Missed tackle gains 9 yards.
4th down and a yard. Portage was stuffed at the 9-yard line in the first half in a similar situation. And Miko, direct snap, and it goes behind Wilinski, and it's picked up by Homer Center's Frazier, right sideline, 40, 30, 20, 10, 5, touchdown on the fumble recovery, and 45 yards for a touchdown, and the Wildcats have tied the game up. Portage had a pick 6, now the Wildcats a scoop and a score, and with 6:53 to play in the third quarter, the Wildcats are a Frazier extra point away from taking the lead.
They didn't even react.
That's going to be officially 48 yards on the scoop and score down the right sideline.
Yeah, I watched the replay, Mark, and the two backfield people did not even react to the fumble. Usually you're taught to dive on it. They just stood and looked at it, and Brady says, well, I'll take it. And there's a touchdown for the Wildcats. Now the chance to take the lead here. Wow.
Carson Arone, the holder. Keep in mind, Braden Dunn on the shelf with an injury, usually the holder. The snap is down and the kick is up. It looks good, and it is good. And the Wildcats defense gives them the lead. 14-13, 48-yard scoop and score from Brady Frazier with 6:53 left in the third quarter. Homer Center 14, Portage 13 on the IRMC Renda Media Football Network.
Grayston Coral Sportsman's Club continues to soar, and the club is proud to offer newly remodeled facilities for its many members. Voted best social and sportsman's club in Indiana County, the club features a large 3-acre fishing pond that is well-stocked and offers a shooting range that is open year-round. The club takes pride in hosting kid-friendly events and the annual fireworks display for the 4th of July. Inside, club members can enjoy a newly remodeled bar area, the perfect place to unwind and watch your favorite team. The Grayston Coral Sportsman's Club.
Let's go! Hi, I'm Eric Brocious. Many of you know me as a high school teacher and a coach. What you didn't know, though, is I'm also a businessman, owner of EMB Computing. I'd like to invite you to our new state-of-the-art facility to see our line of computers, laptops, iPads, MacBooks, and accessories. If you're a business owner, we'll assist you with your networks, servers, workstations, printers, and even your business phone systems. We are located at 57 North 11th Street in Indiana, or you can find us on the web at embcomputing.com. We are your technology specialists.
And the kick and great coverage by the Homer Center Wildcats. Tony Lawrence picked it up, and Jackson tacked Taylor and Colin Doherty on the kick coverage. And Portage is going to be in a hole and stunned right now, Ward, by Homer Center, 14-13.
Old Mo is kind of swung to the Homer side of the field, and we have not seen that too often, especially in the second half.
So Portage has the ball right back. They were driving, had a 4th and 1. Bad snap. So they're going to start at their own 18 this time. Homer Center's not running offensive play, and they have the lead. Can be a strange game at times.
Yes, it can.
Taking the direct snap, Noah Walensky, and Walensky lowers the shoulder and has good yardage from the 18 up to about the 25-yard line. For the Homer Center Wildcats, Sean Voluchik being credited with that tackle.
Gain of 8 seconds.
Good pickup by Portage, and again they realize that there's a weak spot there. They're sweeping to the left.
Gain of 7. It'll be 2nd down and 3. The football at the 25-yard line. Second down and 3. Taking the shotgun snap is Walensky again, and Walensky fumbled the football, and I think the grub has it. Riley Kobaugh.
What more can that young man do tonight?
Riley.
Look at this.
We'll see if we get a replay with 6:01 remaining in the third quarter. Yeah, Riley
Kobaugh. It's a one-man wrecking crew out there tonight.
1st and 10.
Great play. Caught a spectacular touchdown pass.
So Riley Kobaugh with the fumble recovery.
He plays the game the right way, Mark. There's not much else you could say. He's aggressive. He doesn't wait for things to happen. He makes them happen. Boy, this is a big opportunity for the Wildcats.
At the Portage 26-yard line. Back-to-back turnovers for the Mustangs, and good defensive play by the Portage Mustangs' Logan Grove, who read that RPO.
71, Logan Grove.
Carson Arone, and tackles him after a 1-yard gain to the 25-yard line.
Looked like that was going to go for something, but Grove did a nice job plugging that hole.
42-2, the score at Northern Cambria's Duffy Doherty Stadium in the third quarter.
42?
Wow. 40, and River Valley scored first. They led after the first inning. After early in the first quarter, 2-0.
You and your baseball.
Sidecar left. Carson Arone looking, backside pressure coming. It's picked up by Voluchik. Now he dumps it off, has a receiver, Riley Cobaugh, short gain to the 19-yard line. Pretty good job by Carson Arone. Greg Page schooling his young quarterback a little bit. And I'm not sure, maybe just
was also in there for Mustangs.
Saying, hey, good job scrambling.
Gain of 8, 3rd and 2.
Gain of about 8 yards on that play. Tackled defensively by Bodie Leo, and also for the Mustangs, Tegan Kick.
That was a good play on both ends. Cobaugh coming back, making himself available.
Down to 8 seconds on the play clock.
Have to get her going here.
Sidecar left for Homer Center is Sean Voluchik. And shotgun snap, it is Arone keeping it, tackled for a loss outside the 20. Defensively, good play by Jordan Klein. Bodie Leo, so Leo also in the neighborhood. See if the Wildcats bring out the field goal team or not. 4:10 clock running here at Memorial Field with Homer Center, thanks to a 48-yard fumble recovery from Brady Frazier with the lead.
Actually looked like there was a bit of a hole there if they handed it to Voluchik, and I haven't let him run much.
They're going to go for it. Tight formation, and Arone deep drop. Looking, throws. Deegan Fedoruk dropped the football, or he caught it. No, he did hang on to it, but it's not going to be good for a first down. And the Portage Mustangs will take over after the media timeout. With 3:47 remaining in the third quarter, Homer Center, thanks to a splash play on defense from Brady Frazier, they lead Portage 14-13 on the IRMC Renda Media Football Network.
Will be at the 19-yard line.
In this Grayston Coral Sportsman's Club continues to soar, and the club is proud to offer newly remodeled facilities for its many members. Voted best social and sportsman's club in Indiana County, the club features a large 3-acre fishing pond that is well-stocked and offers a shooting range that is open year-round. The club takes pride in hosting kid-friendly events and the annual fireworks display for the 4th of July. Inside, club members can enjoy a newly remodeled bar area, the perfect place to unwind and watch your favorite team. The Grayston Coral Sportsman's Club. Go!
Let's go!
Hi, I'm Eric Brocious. Many of you know me as a high school teacher and a coach. What you didn't know, though, is I'm also a businessman, owner of EMB Computing. I'd like to invite you to our new state-of-the-art facility to see our line of computers, laptops, iPads, MacBooks, and accessories. If you're a business owner, we'll assist you with your networks, servers, workstations, printers, and even your business phone systems. We are located at 57 North 11th Street in Indiana, or you can find us on the web at embcomputing.com. We are your technology specialists.
On a senior night, 11 football players honored before the game. And Jeremiah Rushton, I believe the manager, talked about him with Coach Page on our pregame segment. Portage with the ball inside of their own 20. And the handoff. And let's see who has that football for the Mustangs. Smithrow. Brendan Smithrow had it. Ward, go ahead. I wanted to look up something earlier.
That was a slow developing play going right to left. They've been having success around the left end. That just didn't make it, though. Slow developing, good penetration by the D.
Gain of 2, it'll be gain of 3, 2nd and 7.
Homer's defense has been their bugaboo all year. They need to avoid giving up the big play now. They've got a 1-point lead, which is not secure by any means.
Second down and about 7 to go for the Mustangs, and taking the shotgun snap is Owen Gauss, and hands it off, and tackled for a loss is the Portage Mustangs, Noah Walensky.
Nice job by Coach Tony Arone there. They ran a blitz. 2 inside backers come shooting in there, and they just bombed that play.
Oh, that was, Cody Bell on the tackle. Wasn't Leo?
Yeah, Smith 33.
That's Smithrow.
Smithrow, okay. Smithrow on that carry, Ward.
Big stop.
Back to the 15-yard line, so the Wildcats, 3rd down and 15. Pistol back is Walensky. Now there's a timeout going to be called by the Portage Mustangs. Brought to you by Luxembourg's Jewelers. Since 1916, Luxembourg's is Indiana's Jewelers. 14-13, Wildcats over the Mustangs on the IRMC Renda Media Football Network.
Homer City American Legion Post 493, a longtime backer of Homer Center Athletics, is pleased to be a part of today's broadcast and wishes the best of luck to the Homer Center Wildcats this season. Homer City American Legion Post 493 has served Homer City and our veterans for more than half a century. They are a staple of the community and believe in giving back. So have fun today, teams. Represent your communities well. From your friends at the Homer City American Legion Post 493.
Back with you at Memorial Field out of the Portage timeout with 2:16 left in the quarter. They have a big 3rd down and 14. And Owen Gauss sends a man in motion. That's Smithrow, and he boots to his right. There's that throwback screen again. And with the football is Leo running room, 30, 35, 40 to midfield down the left sideline in front of the Portage bench. Cuts it back, 35 to the 30 to the 20. He's going to take it to the house, 85 yards. That same play that they ran with success in the first half, they ran it again, this time to the opposite side of the field, and Leo on the pitch and catch and run takes it the distance, and they lead the Homer Center Wildcats 19-14. They just caught Homer Center again on that same throwback screen.
Just beautifully executed. Leo was wide open over there, and he is a good athlete, good speed, and as you could see, once he cut back to the middle, there was no contest. Poor defense on that case.
Yeah, it was a pass, basically at the line of scrimmage, and then 85-yard run by Leo, who found a seam up that left sideline, and now Portage will try to make it a 7-point advantage going for 2. And the snap a little bit low. Noah Walensky takes it, trying to get to that left pylon, and he does. Takes it inside the left flag. 2-point conversion is good. And the Portage Mustangs have the lead back as they stun the Homer Center Wildcats. And now we have an injury deep in the end zone. It's a Mustang player, and Bob Rupert, who has more rushing yardage than Mrs. Gorski this year. You have to know that joke from way back at Penn's Manor Award many years ago. So there's a injury timeout with 1:57 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Portage bounces back as they drive the football 81 yards on 3 plays, 85-yard throwback screen to Bodie Leo. It took 1 minute and 50 seconds. Drive summary driven by Luther Ford, where it's truck month at Luther Ford. F-150s, also big selection of Bronco Sports, Explorers, and more, all at Luther Ford in Homer City. 21-14 Mustangs over the Wildcats on the IRMC Renda Media Football Network.
Bad hair day? Bad day at the office? Bad day behind the wheel? Hey, stuff happens, even to the best of us. At least your car insurance rate doesn't have to take a hit. Get Erie Rate Lock from Erie Insurance. Gives you a great rate that stays put until you change a car, driver, or your address. Plus, seriously good service. Now that's something to smile about.
Your local Erie agent is William G. Meckling Insurance Agency. Get a quote at 724-465-4261 or visit mecklinginsurance.com.
Erie Rate Lock does not guarantee continued insurance coverage and is not available in all states.
Dan in a van hasn't returned your call? Chuck in a truck can't get there for 2 months? Stop dealing with fly-by-nighters and call a company that's fully capable for all your plumbing and heating needs. Joyce Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Incorporated. Joyce Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Incorporated is on call 24/7, 365 days a year. Visit us at joyceplumbing.com. That's joyceplumbing.com. Joyce Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Incorporated, the best place in town to take a leak. PA 042115.
Save up to $12,000 on a new F-150 at Luther Ford. At Luther Ford, buy a new 2024 F-150 4x4 XLT Super Crew full hybrid and save up to $12,000. Or buy a new 2024 Ford F-150 Super Duty 4x4 XLT Super Crew and save up to $8,000. Wow! And everyone qualifies. Luther Ford with 2 locations and twice the inventory. The savings are huge. Luther Ford, Route 119, Homer City, and Admiral Perry Highway, Evansburg.
Now going to reverse footing and reverses again to the 10-yard line, to the 15, 20, and flags fly, and probably a penalty on Homer Center. And now there's another flag, and that might be on the Homer Center bench. So we'll see what happens here. Bodie Leo, now there's another flag. So there's a double post-play infraction, Ward.
Well, I think they were upset about him being hit out of bounds, and they wouldn't let up.
Well, we'll see if there was a hit out of bounds. There's the first flag from Frank Garetano, the referee, and a second flag flying as Cobaw's returning it over the 10 to the 20. And, yeah, there's a late hit there, no question about that. And that was 2 or 3 yards out of bounds. While they sort things out, let's take one more look at that as one flag flies, and then there's a second one that comes in. And Greg Page, very demonstrative on the bench as we
that was a good return.
Get the replay as Riley.
He almost broke that. Well, there's another flag behind the play.
Yeah, there were two. Oh, so Don Mester in the broadcast booth, our S&T Bank broadcast booth, saying he slipped more than anything.
But the second guy jumped on him.
So anyway, they're sorting things out with 1:47 left here in the third quarter. Ward, you pay attention down on the field, see what they say here. At IRMC at Chestnut Ridge and Blairsville's Urgent Care, they'll fast-track you and get you quick access to their team of medical experts. Highly trained and ready to treat all minor injuries and illnesses, IRMC at Chestnut Ridge offers a full spectrum of urgent care 7 days a week from 8 to 8. Enough of the waiting game. You can count on IRMC at Chestnut Ridge, Old Route 22 in Blairsville, where you can get in, get out, get better. A part of the IRMC family. Better health, better life. So, Ward, what did you see?
Well, I believe Coach Page has been thrown out. They called an illegal block on the back. We saw where that was at. And then an unsportsmanlike, so there was no flag on the late hit. And it's got to be half the distance here. Homer's going to be in the deep hole. That was a great job by Cobaw. He managed to pick up some yardage, but boy, all this stuff that went on during and after the play has really hurt Homer Center.
So 2 unsportsmanlikes, right?
Yeah. Yeah, there were 2 flags there. I'm guessing that's what did it.
And an ejection?
They threw him out of the game.
Coach Greg Page, to my knowledge, first time he's ever been ejected. And that by rule, does he have to sit next week? So Coach Page's season might be over before his team's. 1:47 left, and the Wildcats starting at their own 3-yard line. And keep in mind, Coach Page calls the plays.
On the carry.
So Carson Arone keeps it. So we'll see, wonder who has the play calling duties, Dawn. What do you think? Joe Izzy would be calling the plays, assistant coach.
Number 63, Fence Rocker.
Fence Rocker, my favorite name in the Heritage Conference. First time we've called his name tonight.
Yeah, we haven't mentioned that.
He's Fence Rocker, a junior, 6 feet, 320 pounds. Second down and 10, shotgun snap, handoff, and with the football. Let's see who has that ball. Voluchik with the football. Sean Voluchik, twin brothers.
Good gain there. About 4 yards short right now.
Punches it out to about the 6-yard line. We're under a minute to play here in the third quarter, 50 seconds and counting. If you're watching on Renda Digital TV, presented by the Grayston Coral Sportsman's Club, just had a shot of the scoreboard. So the Wildcats pinned at their own 5-yard line. Shotgun snap. Carson Arone from his own end zone, throwing deep down the field, and Colin Doherty unable to run under it at about the 35-yard line. On the coverage, Gavin Babolski. No fault for Doherty. He gave it his best and just overthrown a little bit by Carson. Offensive line for Homer Center's given Carson Arone pretty decent protection
Yeah, they
tonight.
are. They played pretty well. They just can't get that run game going, and that would really supplement this offense.
Standing right under the goalpost, almost in Mrs. Ranowski's yard, is Brady Frazier, awaiting the snap. A little bit low, he gets it out of there. High, short kick, and it bounces at the 30, comes laterally, and it's touched down by Homer Center's Sean Voluchik. And the Portage Mustangs will start off at about the 28-yard line with 20 seconds left here in the third quarter.
That was easily Brady's worst punt of the night.
And one of the worst of the season.
Yeah,
he's been really solid.
Yeah, that was, of course, he's trying to get it out of there. So
well, if you're a Portage fan, it's a chance for the Mustangs to take total control of the football game. And if you're a Wildcat fan watching or listening, you got to root for the defense to make a stop.
They got to make the stop, yeah. 2 scores, I don't think Homer can overcome 2 scores deficit.
Owen Gauss, shotgun with the sidecar. Noah Walensky to his left, and he hands it off to Smithrow. They string it out, and he cuts it back, but the Wildcats defend it pretty nicely. Colin Doherty, Brady Frazier, and also for the Homer Center Wildcats, Jackson Taylor defensively. 5'10", 201-pound junior. This Wildcat defense starting the night
And that is the end of the
had 3 seniors, 5 juniors, and 3 sophomores. So a young unit as the third quarter comes to a close, brought to you by SeaWorld Satellites. Fourth quarter action in a minute with the score. Portage 21, Homer Center 14 on the IRMC Renda Media Football Network.
I've always been a very hard worker, and I thought that there was something that smart people that work hard could do differently with the money that you've worked so hard to earn. I consulted First Commonwealth Bank. They said, absolutely there is. And then they called us with a program that was directly suited for us. I've been able to enjoy what I've worked a lifetime to create, and I've done all that with the help of First Commonwealth Bank.
Hi, this is State Representative Jim Struzzi, and I'm proud to serve the 62nd Legislative District. We take pride in our communities, and I'm proud to support our area teams and all our students, wishing them the best of luck this school year. As we approach this year's election, I encourage you to make your voice heard, whether by mail or on the polls at Election Day. I am grateful for your past support, proud of the progress we've made together, and even more excited about the future. The best is yet to come.
With Ward Hilliard, I'm Mark Burdig on WCCS Radio and Renda Digital TV. Big opportunity for both teams. Portage trying to put the hammer down on this one and pick up their 4th win. They have a 2nd down and 8. The Wildcat defense trying to get the ball back. Coach Greg Page has been ejected from this game, and now illegal procedure on the Portage Mustangs. We'll back them up. You know, last year, Ward, Portage and Homer Center, 2 of the most successful small school programs. Many years, Portage in the Westpac. They both finished under 500 for the first time since 2011. Both teams in the same year. So Portage trying to avoid that for a 2nd straight year.
Second and 13, so this is a big play for the defense.
2nd and 13 from the 31-yard line. Gauss sends a man in motion, Solonic, and he hands it off to him. He's going to throw, and he has a man wide open. Bobolski takes it at the 8-yard line. 5 touchdown, completely fooled Homer Center. So the starting quarterback to start the season, who broke a bone in his wrist, takes a little pitch from quarterback Owen Galston. Solonic has a touchdown pass, his 6th of the season, covering 31 yards to a wide open Bobolski, and it's 27-14 Mustangs.
Yeah, Bobolski just ran right by the defense, and everyone looked at him, and he easily had 15 yards behind him. And Solonic put it right there.
Solonic now to attempt the extra point. Yeah, he was off to a good start. He was 29 of 58 for 571 yards passing before he was injured. He drills the extra point, and now the Mustangs have doubled up the Wildcats. They've scored back-to-back touchdowns to seize control. It's 28-14 Portage over the Homer Center Wildcats on the IRMC Renda Media Football Network. As before we go to break, we look at the replay on our Dowds of Plumville replay monitor, and he just they fooled Homer Center with the halfback option pass, and he took it the rest of the way. Bobolski did. Two plays, 28 yards, took 27 seconds. Drive summary driven by Luther Ford. A good call and well executed. 28-14 Mustangs on the IRMC Renda Media Football Network.
At First Commonwealth Bank, we know that financial confidence begins with the right account for the way you manage your money.
What sets one insurance agency apart from another? Building relationships. Hunt & Blues Insurance prides themselves on building strong, personal relationships with their clients. Hunt & Blues is an independent agency offering you choices to get you the best coverage at the best rate. When you buy insurance, whether it's for your home, car, business, life, or retirement, you want an agency working in your best interest. And that's Hunt & Blues Insurance, 2 locations, Indiana and Johnstown.
Leo approaches the football, end over end kick, short, taken at the 18-yard line by Colin Doherty, and fighting for yardage, and gets to about the 34-yard line. And
brought down by number 23.
Tackle made by Landon Schaefer, a freshman, 5'9", 135 on that kick coverage team for the Mustangs. Northern Cambria leading River Valley 48-8 in the fourth quarter.
I don't think anybody saw that coming.
Not like that. Not surprising, maybe that Northern Cambria won, but at that, in that manner. Here's a give, and Beluchik into the secondary. He's at the 50, down the center of the field. He's heading toward Mrs. Renoski's house. Open the door, give him a drink after a 66-yard touchdown run for Sean Beluchik, his 2nd of the season, and stop the press. This one's not over yet. It's 28-20.
I believe I said earlier in the game that they need to get Beluchik a couple carries. You can see why. He just ran by every. That's the kind of thing we've been watching the opponents do to the Wildcats. Boy, he just went through there like a rocket.
Yeah, and he did, and Brady Frazier on to attempt the extra point. 11:36 left in the football game.
Big point here.
Carson Arone, the holder. Very big extra point. Snap low, and the flag flies. We'll see what this penalty is all about. 66-yard touchdown run.
False start on the Wildcats.
So they'll have to do it all over again. See if that long snapper's Drew Fisher, it appears right now. Remember, one of the many injuries for the Wildcats. Danny Jones is excellent long snapper. So after the penalty, this will be a 25-yard extra point. Straight away, snap is better. Put down by Carson Arone. No problem with that kick. It's good.
Up and good.
Up and good. 11:36 remaining in the football game. Back comes Homer Center. They'll be kicking off to Portage. It's now Mustangs 28, Wildcats 21, and the IRMC Renda Media Football Network.
Hi, This is State Representative Jim Struzy, and I'm proud to serve the 62nd Legislative District. We take pride in our communities, and I'm proud to support our area teams and all our students, wishing them the best of luck this school year. As we approach this year's election, I encourage you to make your voice heard, whether by mail or on the polls at Election Day. I am grateful for your past support, proud of the progress we've made together, and even more excited about the future. The best is yet to come.
I've always been a very hard worker, and I thought that there was something that smart people that work hard could do differently with the money that you've worked so hard to earn. I consulted First Commonwealth Bank. They said, absolutely there is. And then they called us with a program that was directly suited for us. I've been able to enjoy what I've worked a lifetime to create. And I've done all that with the help of First Commonwealth Bank.
For each team, and it's 28-21, and Fraser's end-over-end kick going to be taken at the 11-yard line. And coming up the center of the field is Noah Walensky, who's met and dropped by the young man that's celebrating senior night that just had that 66-yard touchdown run. Sean Voluchik laying a pretty good lick on the sophomore Noah Walensky, and the Mustangs will start out. They're going to put the football down at their own 28-yard line.
28-yard line.
Well, it's a football game again, and the Portage again. It behooves them to get a few first downs here, eat up some clock, and get the ball deep into Homer's territory if they don't score.
To the left boundaries, Gavin Bobolski. Caught that touchdown pass on the halfback option pass. They put Slonick in motion and some confusion, and Owen Gauss had nobody to hand it off to, and he keeps it. Might gain a yard on his own effort up to the 29-yard line. Inside backer Cody Bell, third on the team in tackles, assisted by Zach Wilson, one of the 11 seniors honored. Unfortunately, 6 of them were in street clothes tonight before the game. I've never seen anything like it. Second down and 9. That Northern Cambria win is huge because beating a double-A team, if Guilfoyle were to lose tonight, Northern Cambria would be the top seed. Really, it doesn't matter. You just want to be in the top 2, maybe to avoid Guilfoyle. Now a timeout going to be called by who? Our timeout's presented by Luxembourg's Jewelers. Since 1916, Luxembourg's Jewelers. Oh, I see. There's a problem on the far sideline.
There's an injury, and
Bob Rupert. Boy, he's getting his mileage, and he has to go all the way to the far sideline.
Portage
the
didn't
Portage
bring a trainer, I guess. Huh?
Is if Ted Maseko, our cameraman up above us, if he could zoom in on that bench at the 45-yard line, maybe we could see what's going on there. To the left, the other way, Ted.
He's talking to a kid who is standing, so...
I see. Yeah, Bob is a little bit more to the left. You see the black jersey there, Ted. They're looking at an arm of a Portage player. So they're going to get back to action, however. Portage with the ball at their own 29-yard line. Second down, 9 to go. Bodie Leo, tight end left, and there's some confusion.
All kinds of confusion.
And now a timeout or a delay of game penalty, unless they got the timeout. Nope, they did not. Delay of game, Portage.
Flag on the play is a delay of game.
If you tuned in just now, it's been a crazy sequence. Both teams scored touchdowns in the third quarter, and then on a kickoff return, 3 penalties. 1 on the return on Homer Center, and then 2 unsportsmanlike penalties on the Homer Center bench that, to my knowledge, it was Coach Page's first ever ejection.
Well, I believe it was. I'm sure if he comes up, I think he will.
Second down and 14 after the 5-yard mark-off. 10:21 to play. Gauss boots to his left, the southpaw looking, firing over the middle, and it's caught at the 36-yard line by Tony Lawrence. To the 36-yard line, about 3 yards shy of the first down. But a completion for Gauss. Big pickup because they were behind the chains.
Homer had good pressure, just didn't get to him and gave him enough time to pick up the receiver there.
So a big play again here. By the way, IUP football tomorrow at home, senior day. Seton Hill the opponent. IUP should negotiate to play 59-minute games instead of 60.
That's wild.
1:30 airtime. Jack Benedict, Pat Doherty, Jake Slobotnik. Slonick in motion. They hand it to him, trying to get to the corner, and he will easily with a convoy of blockers to the 45, to the 46, and a first down for the Portage Mustangs. Gabe Ruffner on the far side of the field making that tackle. But for Homer Center, Ward, that's not a good job defensively because they had them behind the chains at their own 24-yard line, and in 2 plays they're out to the 46, so they pick up 22 yards on 2 plays and a new set of downs.
Interestingly enough, they went to the right. They've been running left and having good success. That time they went right, and nice play there.
From their own 46, wide side of the field toward the Wildcat bench. Smithrow in motion. They hand it off to Noah Walensky, and Noah is going to be rode down by Brady Fraser defensively, and they'll lose 2 yards back to the 44-yard line. Clock ticking, 8:45 and counting here in the fourth quarter. 28-21 Portage with the lead and the ball.
This defense, one of the better games we've seen them play.
Yeah, they've given up 21. Of course, a pick 6 produced 7 Portage points.
They're giving up some yardage, but they're also making some big plays, forcing a couple turnovers. They really need one now, but Portage's not going to give it to them.
Slonick in motion, but they give it up the middle to Walensky, and down goes Walensky. Inside backer Cody Bell came blitzing through and stopped them. That's the old
Jackson Taylor also in on that, yeah. Again, that's their base offense, that fullback up the middle, and then they have motion people running the opposite way.
River Valley with that loss in the double-A standings have to wait and see how Mount Union and Richland does tonight, but they could wake up in 4th place tomorrow. Still a home playoff game, but not where they wanted to be. Low snap, and they hand it off to Smithrow around that right end to midfield. 45, 40, Wildcat 30, down the Portage sideline. Finally nudged out of bounds, but a huge gain of about 38 yards or so. Brady Frazier finally forced him out, and it's been a bugaboo all season long, the long play.
On 3rd down.
And especially on 3rd down. And this one, the line of scrimmage
that was well
the,
blocked,
42.
Homer's been getting decent penetration on those and slowing them down. That time they didn't. And once he turned the corner.
41-yard gain for Smithrow.
Oh, this is the game now, right here, this series.
From the 16-yard line, Gauss hands it off to Smithrow again, and the Wildcats have him and toss him out of bounds, and now a flag coming in late. And what is that for? Unless
late
they had his face
bounds.
mask. Well, that wasn't a late hit, was it? That could not be a late hit, I don't believe, Ward.
Well, that's the only thing I saw over there.
Let's see.
They didn't
He's
bring
still
him
in
down.
bounds, and they force him out.
There's the flag.
That can't be a late hit, though.
Well, it can't be a face
They never
hit.
even threw him down. Oh, that is on Homer Center. That is a questionable call, Ward, I would say.
That's a non-call. That's a terrible call. That's a terrible call.
It's
like,
a call
hey,
that gave me
I
a
haven't
cramp.
thrown a flag for a while. I'm going to throw one now. He didn't even get knocked down, Mark.
That's why I said there's no way that's a late hit. But it was, according to the official at least. And with the football for the Portage Mustangs was Smithrow again. This one goes nowhere. Line of scrimmage was the 9, and I think they're going to lose a yard. So it'll be 3rd down and 5 from about the 11-yard line. Well, let's see. They put it down right on the paint at the 10.
The play in front of when Coach Page got dumped was, to me, more of a hit out of bounds than that play. And it was right in front of the official. Oh, it was a late hit. I don't care.
So third down, Mustangs at the 10-yard line. And the direct snap to Noah Walensky and the Homer Center Wildcats. Eli Butterly has Noah Walensky. No gain. And it'll be fourth down. They actually do give him a yard to the 9-yard line. So it'll be fourth down and about 4 to go. Approaching the 6-minute mark, 6:15 and counting here at Memorial Field. 28-21, Portage trying to deliver a knockout punch here. We thought they had already delivered one, but the Wildcats' Sean Voluchik said not so fast.
Thought they might kick, but they're going for it.
Tight formation again, and Gauss boots to his left, looking to throw, has a man, it's caught. Slonic, touchdown, Portage Mustangs on 4th and 4 from the 9-yard line. They convert, and it's 34-21 Portage. Credit the Mustangs. They've found some receivers running open, and Gauss and Slonic have hit them.
Yeah, Homer's pass defense has been porous, to say the least. These guys are wide open. And, you know, Gauss doesn't really throw it that nice a ball, but he's just shot putting it in there.
So Easton Slonic, who just caught that touchdown pass, to attempt the extra point. Right-footed soccer-style kicker's kick is up, and it's no good. Missed it. 5:53 remaining in the football game. It's now Portage 34 and the Homer Center Wildcats 31 on the IRMC Renda Media Football Network.
Great food and fun? And you want to go to the hidden dive where all the locals eat? Around these parts, that's Mavericks. Pick your favorites from the jukebox, grab a cold one at the bar, and rack up a round of 8-ball. They've got a new one-page menu that covers it all. Appetizers, burgers, sandwiches, salads, and the best wings. Period. Everything is prepared better than you expect. Minutes from anywhere in Homer City right off 119. Mavericks, drinks, sports, food. Make us proud, Wildcats. You got it.
Twin Cities Event Hall is the perfect place to host your next special occasion. The event hall is located on the grounds of the Grayston Coral Sportsman's Club, featuring an air-conditioned banquet room that comfortably seats 200, a beverage bar, a stage, refurbished hardwood dance floor, and a new kitchen that is caterer-friendly. The event hall has added a new outdoor stage, too, that's perfect for weddings, anniversary parties, or any special occasion. The Twin Cities Event Hall is now accepting bookings into 2025. Find them on Facebook or call 724-541-3683.
Murray, 10 plays, 72 yards, took 5 minutes, 37 seconds. They were 2 for 3 on third downs, 1 for 1 on fourth. That was a touchdown. 3 first downs along the way. And it's 34-21. Drive summaries driven by Luther Ford in Homer City. Leo's kick is picked up, and Cody Doherty has it. And Cody
Doherty on the return.
Over the 30.
I don't know what Owen Goss's number is.
Colin Doherty. I said Cody. Colin Doherty.
Yeah, but he's completed quite a few, and they've been crucial passes.
Keep her rolling. We're in good shape. Homer Center, we're going to give us media timeout anyway. With 5:46 remaining in the football game, it is 34-21 Portage. We're off to Conemaugh Township to close out the Homer Center season next Friday night at 6:15, right here on the IRMC Renda Media Football Network.
To be a champion, you need to have teamwork, great skills, good conditioning, and above all, you need to stay healthy. But if injury occurs, you need a team of specialists that can get you back in the game. Indiana Total Therapy has been helping area athletes for years. Indiana Total Therapy, with 3 locations, IRMC at Chestnut Ridge in Blairsville, Shelley Drive in Indiana, and at the Human Motion Institute on the campus of IRMC. ITT, the best in our field, and voted Best Physical Therapy in the Best of Indiana County contest.
Hi, my name is Zachary, and this is the bus that I take to school every day. It's a Smith bus. We have a really fun bus driver, and guess what? Smith Bus Company is hiring new bus drivers.
That's right. Smith Bus Company is hiring positions for full and part-time drivers and driver's assistants. They provide transportation for 6 area school districts, and they're proud of the work they do. Apply now at smithbusco.com, equal opportunity employer.
Riley Koba has it at the 35, 30, right sideline, 20, 10. He's heading to Mrs. Renoski's two. It's 34-27. We have a play calling controversy developing at Homer Center. It's 34-27 as that touchdown pass goes 64 yards from Carson Arone to old Grub Koba.
Grubb did a nice job of getting separation there. Again, another well-thrown ball by Carson Arone, and he just ran under it. Riley did, and as you've said, Mark, he's got good speed, as you can see on the replay. He just outran those guys. Wow, Homer isn't quitting.
Boy, Riley Koba is a junior.
What a nice.
He's developing into a nice receiver, isn't he?
Oh, a terrific receiver.
And his younger brother, Gabe, will return next week from a concussion. He got cleared, and
he's going to be a good one, too.
There's time out on the field. Yeah, he could be a feature back, I think, next year in this offense as a sophomore. So I'm not sure what the problem is.
I thought you were talking about Bob.
Bob Rupert. Feature back, yeah. Yeah, he moves like a feature back, that's for sure. Somebody called timeout, evidently, Ward, with 5:36 remaining.
I didn't see who that would have been.
Oh, somebody's hurt. Oh, I see, out of our view.
Oh, yeah.
Since 2009, IRMC at Chestnut Ridge in Blairsville has been there for you and your family. With convenient access, Urgent Care is open 7 days a week from 8 to 8. But that's not all. They simply offer you more than neighboring clinics with seamless access to the main hospital campus, IRMC in Indiana. Enough of the waiting game. You can count on IRMC at Chestnut Ridge, Old Route 22 in Blairsville, where you get in, get out, get better. A part of the IRMC family. Better health, better life. So was that Riley that was down?
Riley was hurt. Yeah, I'm not sure if he was hurt so much or just flat out of gas. He has played such a great game tonight. He come off under his own power. I would expect him back.
This quick strike Homer Center offense. Extra point from Fraser is up, and it's good. Homer Center's 2 possessions in this fourth quarter. They've scored on the first play in both of them. You're fired, Greg Page. It's 34-28 Mustangs over the Wildcats on the IRMC Renda Media Football Network.
The road to the KCAC leads to a Heritage Conference Championship Saturday night at the Cavalchi Complex, and Renda Digital TV is there for all of the action. West Shamokin, Marion Center, Northern Cambria, and Conemaugh Township are all in the hunt for the conference title, and our action gets underway at 5 o'clock. We're on the air at 4:45 with the semifinal matches, and we're there all the way until a new champion is crowned. Our presenting sponsors on Renda Digital TV are Wood Chevrolet of Plumville and H2O Restoration. The road to the KCAC is also brought to you by Battery Warehouse Plus, Shadco LLC, Luther Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram, BE Powder Solutions, Mahoning Physical Therapy, Robindale Energy, and by S&T Bank. It's the road to the KCAC Heritage Conference Volleyball Championship Night, 4:45 Saturday on Renda Digital TV.
Yard line, a big hop picked up by Tony Lawrence, and Tony tries slithering through an opening, and down he goes as he's sandwiched at about the 25-yard line, and Portage will take over near that 25 at least. Good kick coverage by the Homer Center Wildcats as we get a replay. And I'll tell you who kind of blew up that play was Gabe Ruffner by pushing a Portage return man, not the guy that had the football, Lawrence, but one of the blockers, pushed him right into the scrum.
If I'm reading that scoreboard right, Mark, Homer has 3 timeouts left, so they've got 5:31 plus 3 timeouts. They got to hold the Portage offense, which they haven't been able to do.
5:31 to play in the game. Portage at their own 25-yard line. And nothing going on there for the ball carrier, Noah Walensky. Jackson Taylor on the stop board. I want to mention out at Purchase Line tonight, power outage in the second half. It was 42-7 United Valley. They called the game early. I don't know if Matt Felicic headed to the old power box or not. Second down, almost 11 for the Mustangs. So the double A matchup again, big score. Here's Smithrow again, trying to get to the edge, and he picks up yardage about 6 yards up to the 30, maybe the 31-yard line, tackled by Colin Doherty of the Homer Center Wildcats. It'll be third down as we approach the 4.5-minute mark. They put the football down at the 31-yard line. They need to get to the 35 for a first down. 4.5, 4:20 actually to play in this football game.
Riley Coball back in the ball game. It's a big play for both teams right now.
Third down, 4. Big play indeed for both teams. Owen Gauss, the quarterback, sends a man in motion, and he's going to hand it off. Coming near side is Smithrow. Gets through a little gap and has a first down as he spun down at the 36-yard line by Brady Frazier. Good job of running by Smithrow, a 6-foot, 190-pound senior who just waited for that to develop and then kind of slipped between Cobah and Drew Fisher and picked up the necessary yardage. He needed about 4 and he got 5.
Just about like the old student body left.
Wildcats do have all 3 of their timeouts remaining. Portage with 2. New set of downs at their own 36-yard line. Tony Lawrence, a receiver to the left, and they give it up the middle, and with the football spinning move, it is Noah Walensky, and he's up to the 45-yard line.
On the stop.
Walensky, until then, his last 6 carries had netted negative 4 yards, but on that one he got 9, and now for Homer Center, the clock is the enemy. Portage trying to use it to their advantage.
You're almost looking to get a turnover now. 3 minutes and counting, 3:11 and counting right now.
Cambria Heights back-to-back shutouts, 57-0 over West Shamokin. Wildcats hadn't been shut out 13 games until last week. Last time they were shut out, Ward, you think about it during this play, and they give it to Walensky. Walensky slants off the right side and has a first down, and now the Wildcats are going to have to start using their timeouts. Last shutout for Homer Center
last time
against.
They were shut out?
Yes, until last week, of course. It was a 13-game stretch.
For the Mustangs.
I'm smelling smoke, so I'll give it up.
My brain is fried.
It was at Portage October 6th of last year in the rain, 34-0 in one of the uglier games.
That was an ugly one. So ugly I don't even remember it.
First and 10, 2.5 minutes remaining, 34-28. Portage. Wildcats a touchdown and an extra point away from a thrilling victory. They give it to Smithrow around the right side. Smithrow is defensed nicely this time. Did he get out of bounds or did he keep the clock running? Nope. They kept him in bounds, and a timeout called by Homer Center. Timeout's brought to you by Luxembourg's Jewelers since 1916. Luxembourg's Jewelers in downtown Indiana and at the Indiana Mall. 2:16 remaining, 34-28 on the IRMC IRMC Renda Media Football Network.
Every year, we go on a search for great snacks or treats. Children enjoy more than just candy on Halloween. The best sources of calcium are milk, yogurt, and cheese. Kids like us love string cheese because it's tasty and fun to pull, twist, and eat. And parents love string cheese because it's rich in calcium, whatever that is. So give us kids the fun and goodness we are looking for. Make it a very dairy Halloween. A message from Allied Milk Producers.
Filled with 2:16 remaining, 34-28. Timeout called by Homer Center. Conemaugh Township, next week's opponent, brought Conemaugh Valley back to life after their victory last week at West Shamokin. Conemaugh Township 40, Conemaugh nothing. Marion Center shuts out Penns Manor. Double A versus A. Get the theme. 33-0. That township, their double A. Conemaugh Valley, single A. And the give, and Walensky, as somebody came on a blitz, almost got him, but he sidestepped him and got into Wildcat territory, and a timeout called by Homer Center. Brought to you by Luxembourg's Jewelers with 2:07 remaining in the game. It's 34-28. Mustangs trying to hang on for their 4th win on the IRMC Renda Media Football Network.
Don't miss the Dowd 74th anniversary sale. Whether you want to furnish one room or your entire home, you'll save big. Right now, buy one item at Dowd's special sale price and get a second item of equal or lesser value at half off. That's right, every other item at half off. Plus, get 1 year free financing. The Dowd 74th anniversary sale. Drive a little, save a lot. Dowd's of Plumville and Greensburg.
Doesn't your home deserve Dowds?
We're the lifeblood of the community.
It's so much more than just a job.
So good patient care is providing top quality care, but also in a timely fashion.
They don't need to go to Pittsburgh for that. They can stay right here in their backyard.
So when a patient walks into your office, you receive them as your family member.
A patient leaves my office feeling heard.
And the focus truly is on what will get us our best patient outcome.
Down, Portage hands it off to Walensky, and Gauss to Walensky. The Wildcats trip them up well shy of that lead chain, and they're going to take their final timeout, although some extra seconds ran off the clock. I'd say about 3 or 4 seconds worth of extra time. It should be about 2:05 or 2:06. They were slow on the trigger. So it stopped with 2:02 remaining in the game, 34-28. Portage, we're going to step out for 30 seconds. Coming back for the conclusion of this game, 34-28 Mustangs on the IRMC Renda Media Football Network.
Luxembourg's Jewelers would like to let the community know that due to unfortunate flooding circumstances at their downtown location, they have temporarily moved their inventory to their Indiana Mall store. Elegance and affordability like never before at Luxembourg's overflowing Indiana Mall location. Now is the perfect time to take advantage of Luxembourg's store-wide sale. So if you're looking for breathtaking engagement rings or searching for a stunning Christmas gift, there's no need to wait. Now is the time to visit the store-wide sale at Luxembourg's Jewelers Indiana Mall location.
Ready to punt. Walensky, 30 carries, 98 yards for the Mustangs. His older brother, Isaac, one of the feature backs in the offense, not dressed tonight. Had a big game last week against Purchase Line. 2:02 remaining, 4th and 4, they will punt. And Bodie Leo's kick is taken at the 15-yard line by Riley Cobaugh. And they have Riley corralled as he gets over the 20, up to about the 22, 23-yard line. Riley's had himself quite a football game here tonight. There's a flag on the play. So where's that flag at, Ward? Let's see.
I don't know. It's an unusual amount of flags tonight.
Well, this is the crew that was out at Purchase Line where it was an absolute flag fest. So they like to get their money's worth. Personal foul grabbing the face mask on Portage.
Personal foul on the Mustangs for a face mask penalty. 15 yards from the end of the run.
Word the game out at Portage, this crew, and I don't think we're anywhere close, Jerry will be able to tell us, this crew out at Purchase Line, there were 18 penalties in the game for 142 yards.
That's a ton. That just makes the game drag.
So after the mark-off, the Wildcats have it at their own 38-yard line. Arone throws underneath, short hops his receiver, Drew Fisher, on the far sideline in front of the Portage bench. And in fairness to Carson, he was getting some pressure. So 1:46 scoreboard clock stopped. Wildcats down by 6. They are faced with a 2nd and 10 at their own 38-yard line.
Wide side of the field is toward us, Mark, so he can roll right. That was the stronger.
12 penalties tonight, Jerry says. Carson Arone Stands tall, flushed, throws, and it's a wobbler. And he was a little indecisive in what he wanted to do, and maybe a break for Homer Center. Riley Cobaugh was the intended receiver. And a little cat and mouse game between Tony Lawrence and Walensky and Cobaugh. 13 penalties. Jerry amends it. Can't blame him for.
That's a fair amount.
Big play for Homer Center. They'd like to at least make this more manageable on 4th down if it goes that direction. It's 3rd and 10 at their own 38. Shotgun snap. Carson Arone steps up, going to throw, and it's a jump ball and through the hands of Deegan Fedoruk. I think he was hit, and the pass was deflected as he was throwing it. And now the Wildcats, with no timeouts, faced with 4th down and 10 with 96 seconds left in the football game. Yeah, he was hit by Bodie Leo just as he was releasing the ball. And Deegan Fedoruk at about the 48-yard line, a leaping attempt, and he couldn't come down with it.
Had he been back a couple yards, he'd probably caught that. But
let's see if Portage maybe brings pressure here. Doesn't really look like it. They're dropping 6. Motion man is Fisher toward the sideline. Shotgun snap, Arone looking, firing deep for Doherty, and it's deflected and intercepted off of Doherty's hands into one of the heroes' hands of Portage tonight, and that is number 3, Easton Solonic. His second interception of the night.
Portage takes over.
Good effort, but for naught.
Slonic's played a great game.
Yeah, there's been some outstanding individual plays in this, and that's what high school football is all about. I think Riley Cobaugh is worth the price of admission.
Where we understand that the game at Northern Cambria was stopped early too, not due to a power outage like was the case at Purchase Line, due to apparently a serious injury on a River Valley player, so they stopped the game with 6:41 left. Northern Cambria was winning 48-8, so that will be the final. So whoever that River Valley player is, prayers for that young man.
Wish him well.
Portage takes a knee, so they'll do it 2 more times, and we'll have a final here tonight. Looks like they're trying to hear on the radios. They're lining up security for the
officials safely to their vehicle.
Oh my!
I don't think the Wildcat faithful is
they're not
going to do much. It's part of the game.
They're going to reset the clock to 1:10. So they will have to run 2 more plays.
2 plays, yeah.
Next week, we'll head over to Davidsville. You remember the Conemaugh Township
I remember.
Quarterback from many years ago that played for the New York Giants. Ward, another quiz for you.
Geez, it's slipping my mind. I do not. I see him too.
My brother's name is Jeff, so that quarterback's name was Jeff Hostetler.
Hostetler. I'm sorry.
Should have known that. Play the Mr. Ward song again?
No,
we have this delay.
You got to understand, I'm older. My memory isn't what it used to be. You can ask my wife; she'll tell you.
So, quite the 4th quarter we had here.
It's probably one of the better, if not the best game we've seen Homer play, even though they're going to lose it. I thought
a lot of good things.
Good battle, we saw a lot of good individual play. The line looked much better.
So they reset the clock. Now it's winding down, and Portage staring back at the play clock, which is down to 12 seconds, 10 seconds. It went from 12 to 10. I just noticed that. See if that happens again. If they run it down as Owen Giles takes a knee, and they won't even have to run another play. And we have a final score here tonight. Spirited game between these 2 teams. Mustangs maintain a playoff position. They improved to 4-5. The Wildcats, despite a pretty game effort, fall to 2-7. Stay with us for our first Commonwealth Bank postgame show. We'll go uninterrupted tonight from Memorial Field in Homer City. The final score, Portage Mustangs 34, Homer Center Wildcats 28, coming back with radio replays when we return on the IRMC Renda Media Football Network.
At Grand Beginnings Children's Center, their focus is on growing and teaching children to be the best they can be. They know children need education, inclusion, and safety. Grand Beginnings has a mission to provide a warm and nurturing environment in which each child can grow physically, emotionally, socially, intellectually, and spiritually. Grand Beginnings Children's Center with 2 locations in Indiana, teaching children to shine since 1991. Call 724-463-1819. Find them at grandbeginnings.net.
Save up to $12,000 on a new F-150 at Luther Ford. At Luther Ford, buy a new 2024 F-150 4x4 XLT Super Crew full hybrid and save up to $12,000. Or buy a new 2024 Ford F-150 Super Duty 4x4 XLT Super Crew and save up to $8,000. Wow! And everyone qualifies. Luther Ford with 2 locations and twice the inventory. The savings are huge. Luther Ford, Route 119, Homer City, and Admiral Perry Highway, Evansburg.
To Memorial Field on a senior night, the 13th all-time meeting between the Homer Center Wildcats and Portage Mustangs. The first 12 games was even-steven, but Portage got the better of it in a very entertaining game, as it turned out, as they defeat the Homer Center Wildcats by a final score of 34-28. Ended up being so much scoring in the second half, we're going to do what we've done in the past. We're going to string together our radio replays, and we'll tell you with the radio replays how this game unfolded, and Michael Burdig, our studio engineer, has them put all together. Michael, here we go. They give it to Walensky up the middle into the end zone. He goes for a Portage Mustang touchdown. 12 seconds into this second quarter as the Mustangs drive 71 yards, and they lead 6-0. Play action. And throwing intercepted by guess who, Solonic. It's going to be a pick six down the left sideline for a touchdown, covering about 40 yards as he stepped right in front of that pass, and it's 13-0 Portage. Easton Slonic is a football player, is he not? Arone stands tall in the pocket, throwing to Pazrali Koba, bobbles it, takes it in at the 20, 10, breaks a jersey, tackle 5, and a touchdown. His 4th of the season for Riley Koba. Sensational for the 5'8", 156-pound junior, and it's 13-6. 48-yard touchdown pass for Carson Arone. And Miko, direct snap, it goes behind Walensky, and it's picked up by Homer Center's Fraser, right sideline, 40, 30, 20, 10, 5, touchdown on the fumble recovery, and 45 yards for a touchdown, and the Wildcats have tied the game up. Portage had a pick six, now the Wildcats a scoop and a score, and with 6:53 to play in the third quarter, the Wildcats are a Fraser extra point away from taking the lead. And Owen Gauss sends the man in motion. That's Smithrow, and he boots to his right. There's that throwback screen again. And with the football's Leo running room, 30, 35, 40 to midfield down the left sideline in front of the Portage bench. Cuts it back, 35 to the 30 to the 20. He's going to take it to the house, 85 yards. That same play that they ran with success in the first half, they ran it again. This time to the opposite side of the field, and Leo on the pitch and catch and run takes it the distance, and they lead the Homer Center Wildcats 19-14. They just caught Homer Center again on that same throwback screen. Gauss sends a man in motion, Solonic, and he hands it off to him. He's going to throw, and he has a man wide open. Bobolski takes it at the 8-yard line, 5 touchdown, completely fooled Homer Center. So the starting quarterback to start the season, who broke a bone in his wrist, takes a little pitch from quarterback Owen Gauss, and Solonic has a touchdown pass, his 6th of the season, covering 31 yards to a wide open Bobolski, and it's 27-14 Mustangs. Here's a give, and Voluchik into the secondary. He's at the 50, down the center of the field. He's heading toward Mrs. Renoski's house. Open the door, give him a drink after a 66-yard touchdown run for Sean Voluchik, his 2nd of the season, and stop the press. This one's not over yet. It's 28-20. Tight formation again, and Gauss boots to his left, looking to throw, has a man, it's caught. Slonic, touchdown, Portage Mustangs on 4th and 4 from the 9-yard line. They convert, and it's 34-21 Portage. Credit the Mustangs. They've found some receivers running open, and Gauss and Slonic have hit them. Wiley Koba has it at the 35-30, right sideline, 20-10. He's heading to Mrs. Renoski's too. It's 34-27. We have a play calling controversy developing at Homer Center. It's 34-27 as that touchdown pass goes 64 yards from Carson Aron to Old Grub Koba. Yeah, Old Grub as we build him with that touchdown reception. Extra point was good, and that was the final points in the football game as Portage hung on to the ball at the end. If you're wondering about the play calling controversy, it was because, unfortunately, for the first time, I believe, in his 18-year career, Coach Page was ejected after a controversial late hit call on that wasn't called against Portage and could have gone either way, and double unsportsmanlike, and that sent Coach Page out of this football game. Total yardage, 385 for Portage, 236 for the Homer Center Wildcats. Leading the way, 30 carries for Brendan Smithrow for 98 yards for the Portage Mustangs as they win it by a final score of 34-28. Our commercial-free postgame show is going to continue with Ward Hilliard chatting with Portage Mustangs head coach Marty Slonic. Ward, we're going to send it down to you. Well, is Ward there? I'm looking on the sideline for Ward Hilliard, and I'm not finding him. And Ward, if you're down there, make sure the mic is on. 34-28. I'm not sure if Coach Page will be joining us on our post-game show or not. Not sure what those rules are, if he had to leave the grounds or not. Coach Slonic, here he is. Well, we'll do it this way.
Yeah, where you want?
Oh, because of the band? Okay, yeah, well, let us see. We'll do it right over here on camera, Coach. If I don't hang myself first. Well, yeah, you know, hey. Come on up. We'll get you situated here. Yeah, probably a good call with the band. And you want to just grab that headset.
Well, look at you guys with your heater up here.
Yeah, we're soft, right?
Soft.
All right, we have Portage Mustangs head coach Marty Slonic joining us on our first Commonwealth Bank post-game show. And, Coach, this turned out to be a pretty entertaining football game. Back and forth we went.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't think I remember coming over here and it not being an exciting game. Except maybe one year, like in 2016, they really put it to us. But it's always a battle here, and they're a good program. It's a lot of pride. I think it brings back a little bit. And, you know, Portage Homer Center, it's kind of funny to think how there's been a rivalry built and just good, hard, competitive games.
So you come here, you work all week preparing for the game, and you find out really right before game time that one of your starting players who had a big game last week at Purchase Line, Isaac Walitsky, not feeling well, so he has to sit out. That kind of changes everything from the get-go, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it sure does. But, you know, we take pride in always trying to adjust and be ready for the next man up. Now, he's a very difficult kid to replace because he's one of our big studs. I mean, he's one of our best players on the team. He's been a 3-year starter, played some even as a freshman. And, yeah, he's a bull. But we had some guys step up and get things done.
How does that change things for you when you learn of something pretty much right before the game, because I'm sure you game planned him as part of things here tonight.
Oh yeah, he was a big part of it, but we just adjust, and we pride ourselves in a lot of the things we do and call offensively is what are they giving us, and with him we're a little bit like, hey, we're coming at you, you try to tackle him, and we're going to see where the chips lie. But a lot of the other stuff we do, we're just kind of trying to look, how are they lined up? What are they doing? Because it's tough to stop everything. And, it was a little bit of a chess match back and forth. And we were able to move some pieces at the right time and had some kids that really stepped up and made some plays.
Marty, there's a young man, he wears number 3. I think you know him well. He's your son, 5'10", 181-pound junior that had himself one whale of a football game. I was really impressed. He had a 42-yard pick six. He's playing with a broken bone in his wrist, and he was all over the place. And if you watch this game, you're going to hear us calling his name a lot. Talk about that interception that set you off to a 13-0 lead.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, he's 5'9.5". I'm 5'10". He'll love to hear that. And, he right from the start, you could just see he was ready to play, and he was going to bring it, because our quarterback that was filling in, Owen Gauss, played this game pretty sick. He had a pretty bad bout of the flu, and he had to gut it through. And, I mean, usually he's got some of the most energy, and those guys had to really step it up. And, I'm really happy for him because he loves this game, and he's excited about it. And he made some big plays, and he was just one of the kids doing it.
That throwback screen was an effective play for you, including an 85-yard pass and run by Bodie Leo that extended it, gave you the lead back at 21-14 at the 1:57 mark of the third quarter. That worked well for you twice.
Yeah, I mean, when you're running the ball and you're doing some things and rolling away, we're always kind of looking what's back there, because even though they know we have that play, it's just a matter of when you call it, what the time is, and what their kids are reacting to. So, we talked to Bodie before the game. I looked at him, I said, listen, you're our guy. You got to be our guy to make some big plays tonight, and that's one of them. And he blocked like crazy. He made some great plays on defense, and he's a kid that can run and do some things. He's a special player.
Unfortunate sequence of events following your score on the ensuing kickoff, a penalty on Homer Center, and then double unsportsmanlike. I'm pretty sure in Coach Page's 18 years that's his first ejection. It was down below us. Seemed to, be. We thought maybe your player slipped, to be honest about it, heading in, but it was out of bounds, and emotions are high, and it was tough to see Coach Page exit the game.
Yeah. When the official came over and told me that, over on our sideline, I couldn't really see what was happening. I was just concerned about get our players out of there. I didn't know if there was pushing and shoving, because games can go from good sportsmanship to just one little thing, and things spark up into high emotion. And I'll have to see it on the film, but
well, I think in that case, one unsportsmanlike's probably merited.
I would say. I would say
two,
an ejection's
definitely not.
Yeah, I think an ejection should be something that's really for a very, very obvious,
flagrant,
because
type of situation.
It's tough.
Well, fourth quarter was kind of crazy. You just put a touchdown on the board, and you think it's maybe over. 7 seconds into the quarter, it's 28-14. Halfback option pass that you pulled out.
Yeah, that's a play we have. We call it Connor Price, off an old quarterback we had. Because I don't know if you remember that name. And
sure do.
We ran it earlier in the year to the left with our current left-handed quarterback now, and we were just, our only concern was, would he be able to switch the ball into his hand easier with the club on. And it was the right time to call it. Actually, our defensive coordinator said, hey, what about call? I said, that's a great call. And so I'll give him the credit on that. And he was wide open. So it's good when it works, right?
Yeah, exactly. And then defensively, just what you want on Homer Center's next two possessions. You give up a touchdown on the first play from scrimmage, right?
Oh, I tell you what. And it's we call it a play defensively, and it's almost like if you ever played Tecmo Bowl. If you call the perfect play against the perfect defense, and bam, it hit. And that kid hit it. And then the next one, they run that backside number 2 receiver post coming across, and the kid laid it out there perfectly. And man, it was a good throw and a good catch, which isn't easy to do in high school football. And 2 really good plays, and it made it exciting for sure. 385
yards of total offense, that has to please you.
Yeah, I mean, numbers and stats and whatever. The win's the win. Our kids enjoyed themselves. They played hard. They competed. Like you said, I think we clinched a playoff spot. We're not happy where we're at, but we're where we're at for a lot of reasons, and it's, mostly us. And so, We'll take it.
Take it and move on and get ready for next week. Coach, we appreciate you doing this. Hats off to your son, too, Easton, who had a heck of a game, a tip of the football helmet to him and your Mustangs as you exit with the 34-28 victory. We appreciate you doing this.
All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate you guys, your coverage all the time. It's second to none. It's the best.
We appreciate that, too. Marty Slonick, the head coach of the Portage Mustangs. We're going to slip Ward back in here on our commercial-free First Commonwealth Bank post-game show. I don't know if Coach Page, maybe he's not allowed back in the building. I'm not sure what he might be cooling off, too.
I'm hoping to see him here up at the school.
So we'll tell you statistically, Coach, and you're good to go if you need to go. Yep. Or we can make a color analyst out of you moving forward, too. Yeah. Okay. Right, Thanks, Coach. We'll take a look at the stats for Portage. As I mentioned, 385 yards of total offense, 30 carries for Noah Walensky, 98 yards, 67 yards for Brendan Smithrow on 12 carries. It all totaled up to 49 rushing attempts, 189 yards. Gauss through the air was 6 of 10, and Slonick 1 for 1 on that halfback option pass for 31 yards. So overall 7 of 11, 2 touchdown passes, 1 interception, 196 yards passing. All told, 196 passing, 189 on the ground for 385 total. For the Homer Center Wildcats, 236 yards of total offense, 17 rushes, 55 yards. And that included a 66-yard touchdown run for Sean Voluchik. So that tells you about the rest of the night. Carson Arone, sacks and what have you, 13 official attempts for -14. So 17 rushes, 55 yards for Homer Center net. Passing, 10 of 22, 3 interceptions, 2 touchdown passes. So an up-and-down night for the youngster Carson Arone, 181 yards passing, 236 yards of offense for the Wildcats, and a tip of the football helmet to Riley Cobos. 6 catches for 152 yards for Riley Cobos. Quite a night for him.
Well, yeah, there were some great individual performances from both teams, and we were very entertained by it. I said this was Homer's best game, I think, this year, even though it was a loss.
Ward, can you grab the out-of-town scoreboard there before we say goodnight, because I don't think Coach Page will be able to join us, maybe as part of the rules with an ejection.
We're not sure about that.
Cambria Heights led 50-0 at the half. Shortened second half, 57-0. They're 9-0, and next week they have one more game. And I'm trying to think. I think they're at Penns Manor next week to close out the season. So they're 9-0. West Shamokin drops to 0-9. Conemaugh Township defeats Conemaugh Valley. They shut them out 40-0, I believe that final score was. So they're 4-5. Conemaugh Valley 1-9. A game shortened due to a power outage. Game called. United Valley well on their way to a victory. It ended up 42-7. The Lions over the purchase line. Red Dragons. The Dragons have been stuck on 2 wins. Marion Center shuts out Penns Manor. They're faltering down the stretch. Very brutal schedule for the Comets, who are now 5-4. Big win for Marion Center to maintain a playoff berth. 33-0, the final score at Molino Stadium. River Valley and Northern Cambria. That game also shortened for a different reason. It was 48-8 Northern Cambria. Special teams plays. They just dominated the football game. Unfortunately, an injury about from what I was told, the midway point of the fourth quarter to a River Valley player. They decided to halt the game. If they did that, it had to be fairly serious, and our hearts and our prayers, most importantly, go out to that young man from the River Valley Panthers as Northern Cambria improves to 8-1. River Valley drops to 7-2. McKeesport shuts out Indiana 54-0. That was 41-0 at the half. Juniata Valley maintains a playoff position in single A 42-22, and in double A, Bald Eagle loses to Bellwood. Big win for Bellwood to pick up points in the double A standings. That final score 32-18. So, Coach, Coach Hilliard, I guess you coached me in Biddy basketball many years ago.
Many years.
So I can still call you Coach. But unfortunately for Coach Greg Page, unfortunate set of circumstances, gets ejected, not joining us on our post-game show here tonight. and I'm sure he's cooling down. And as I said just to Marty Slonick, and he agreed, maybe one, unsportsmanlike justified there, but two, in my opinion, inexcusable.
Yeah, well, the officials do what they think is right, whether we agree with it or not, and most of the time I don't. It was unfortunate.
They called, in fairness, we didn't hear what was said.
No.
We're up here behind our closed windows with our little heater. We'd like to thank our studio engineer, Michael Burdig, our digital producer in the booth here tonight as it cools off, John Smathers. Cameraman without the jacket, Ted Maseko. He's Cleveland Guardian tough. What's the score, Ted?
6-2.
Yankees are winning tonight. Ted's a Cleveland guy. They're building a new football stadium outside the city. He just has his heart torn out tonight in a couple different ways. So Ward speaking for you, and our statistician Jerry Rossai, spotter in the booth Dennis Mester, Mark Burdig reminding you that the final score here tonight in what turned out to be a very entertaining football game. The Mustangs improved to 4-5. Wildcats dropped to 2-7 off to Conemaugh Township to close out the 24 campaign next Friday night at 6:15. A special thanks to all of our sponsors from Memorial Field in Homer City. Good night, everybody.
You've been listening to an Indiana